sort the Man City rep out. In fact, I'm going to start right now before the show ends. What?
The world's biggest living fish is a shark.
Hello? Just as I thought I was out, you've dragged me back in.
My man. My man. I enjoyed it so much that I thought, I forgot to even do the background. Welcome home, Steve.
Come on.
Welcome.
Good to be back.
What can I ask? What's Punta Cana? Is that like a real place and shit? You told me something else. I asked you where the fuck you are.
It's where you go when you need a break.
Punta Cana sounds a bit dodgy to me, son.
There we land. Yeah, literally, man, straight off a flight as well.
Yeah, man.
You look good. You look healthy. You look well.
Yeah, good. Yeah, no, I've had a good break away. Been refreshed. And yeah, it's good to be back. Like I say, it's good to be back. I didn't think I'd be back, but I'm happy I'm back. Yeah, it's been a long time. But I'm ready. Yeah, ready to go. I'd just like to say though, big respect to Hugh. He had a tough job when he took my place, because a lot of City fans were like giving him shit and saying, "Oh, you're not Big Steve," and he is not me, but I'm not him. You know what I mean? He's a calm, cool guy. Big City fan, goes home and away with me, and he's done a great job. They've done a fantastic job, and he brought a different energy to me to the table. And it's the same if any of us was to leave. You know, you're not going to get the same person, no matter who it is. And he done a great job. And I've seen the comments, "Oh, he's left because of this, he's left because of that." He's not left because of no comments. He's not left because of that. They said I left because of that. I didn't leave because of that. Sometimes in life, there's other things going on in your life. And sometimes you need a break. Sometimes you need to just have a refresh. Sometimes things come up and you've got to put that more important. And at the end of the day, he's doing his thing. I'm sure he'll be back somewhere down the line. And yeah, he's a good guy. But like I say, the Big Six has always been about community and about the community and the chat and the people that have all watched it. So if there is anyone giving anyone shit, or there is anyone getting on people in the comments, just call them out, man. Call them out. But listen, I don't give a fuck. I'm back and let's have it. This show's gone too soft, man. There's too many people on this panel talking absolute fucking buku. So let's go. Let's go.
Any names?
You've been keeping your ear to the Big Six streets, yeah? You've been hearing what the people have been saying in the last 2 years.
People have been telling me what's going on, man. I've been watching. I've been like Big Brother in the corner. I've been watching.
But you know what, Steve? Can I address something? Because someone in the group earlier, they said, you know, the big dogs are back. But I don't know whether you want to tell him or whether I should tell him. But the big dogs have changed since the last time you've been on the show, Steve, no?
Oh, well, listen. This is what I was going to address. When I left this show, yeah, certain men were talking about best goalkeeper in the world, best centre-back in the world, best full-back in the world, best midfielders in the world, the heritage, the history, you know, doing things different, the Liverpool way. Now, and he was the big dog. He was the big dog, yeah. The Crocodile Dundee act's out now, yeah. But where's that been for the last couple of years? You know what I mean? I don't see a big dog anymore. I see a little puppy in the corner who's just sat there getting his own way because Big Steve has not been around. But come on, where's the chest, man? Where's the chest?
It's the wild west now, is it, baby? The wild west.
Get off your horse and drink your milk.
Howdy, partner. Welcome back. I like it. My partner's back. And Turkish? Okay. We're going to talk.
And listen, Turkish. Toby, nothing's changed with Toby. He's the same, man. He's depressed. Look at his face. He's fucking depressed. All I need to see now is the neon sign and the depressing gown, and he's exactly the same position he left when I left 2 years ago. That's all I need.
In turmoil. You're muted.
SAEED,
You're muted.
and SAEED, he's exactly the same. We are top of the league. We are top of the league, and a fucking star is born. A star is born. I can't lie. I thought that was Tom Huddlestone that came on the other night, not Xerxes.
Nah, not dude.
I thought it was Tom Huddlestone, mate.
I see what you messaged me.
He was the same build. He had the similar sort of touches. And he done the Macheda effect, and he's got his goal and that. And then this is it now. The Dutch flags will be out. The flags will be out. Sale will be wearing clogs. And you know, it's all bullshit. So he's not changed. And Chelsea, well, we'll get into that in a bit because that is a fucking basket case. That is.
Well. Welcome back, Steve. Hi, people. Hit the like button.
It's mad.
Hit the like button. Hit the like button, people. Let's get to 2,000 likes immediately. Let's welcome back Steve properly. And like Steve said, big up Hugh, and make sure you go subscribe to Hugh. I think he's still close to 10K. So go and still show some love, people. He will be back for sure. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Put the notification bell on. Before we do keep it moving, I want to say love for the love, people, because we launched watch-alongs yesterday on the Big Six. There wasn't the 6 of us. There was the core 4 for what's going to be this season, which is me, Matisse, TOBS, and GRIZZ, and it's still popped off. Don't worry, SAEED will be on and Steve will be on at points, but the core 4 will be also joined by special guests throughout. But listen, the numbers were mad. Didn't expect it, I can't lie to you, but the comments showed love as well. So listen, we're back from Man United Liverpool in a couple of weeks. So if you enjoyed, come show some love again. Share it, do all of that, people. Let's build on this because it was something special. I can't even lie to you. And it was our first one. And there was chinks in the armor. Let's say
technical problems, few teething
chinks
problems.
in the armor. It happens, we're the Big Six. We're raw. We're not no major production. There's nothing backing us like that. So it's real. It's raw. That's all we can say. But we appreciate the love, people. Over 5K here already. 7 minutes in. Let's get to 2,000 likes. Come on, people, and show some love to Big Steve's channel as well. Back in the description. So go subscribe. He's actually regularly doing content there as well. So it makes sense, people. Support the community. Support the community. Individual channels all in the description. Everyone's on the road to something. I'm not going to kick off with the hot banter topic today. I'm going to kick off with the main news. City away to Chelsea, 2-0 win. Steve, 2-0 win. What'd you say, Matisse?
Oh, okay.
To be honest, you know what? That was actually.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
Can I say something? Don't
be disrespectful.
No, but I'm not. You know what? I don't mean it. No.
If you're gonna do it, then no.
No, I don't mean it. It's gonna come.
No, you do. You do. No, you're not. You're gonna be disrespectful.
What you saw there is a natural.
Don't do that.
It's a natural disrespect what you saw.
Okay,
there,
don't do that.
I didn't line that disrespect up. What in my head I thought Tottenham drawing to Leicester is the banter topic of the weekend, forgetting that you are still Big Six side, and that's Tottenham we're talking about.
It's fine.
But I didn't mean it. That's the thing.
That's fine. That's fine. I've documented this. I thought we'd start with TOBS just purely because he's got a face full of thunder. He hasn't spoken. He hasn't uploaded a review. He's troubled.
He needs to rest.
He doesn't have the same. He doesn't have the same glow he had last stream. His head was far shinier. I don't know what's going on. He's very.
He needs to relax him. Jamie Vardy's just fucking
muted.
He's been on mute for 9 minutes.
He's still muted.
He's out of focus.
You can't even hear him.
The camera ain't focusing.
TOBS, you're muted. You're muted, TOBS. Can't hear you.
Bro, you're muted. We can't hear shit.
Bro, we can't hear you, man.
Broski, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you, mate.
TOBS.
I'm not listening. He's not listening.
Even listening. He's just talking.
His head is gone.
It's discombobulated, man.
He's discombobulated.
He's discombobulated.
Bro, it's this new fucking mic, bro. It's this.
Oh, yeah, he's dead, man. He's dead. Yeah, let him fix his mic. Where are we going now? We're talking.
Yeah, Man City. Yeah.
Go on, Steve. Go on.
No, listen. I know for the City fans, we were a little bit concerned going into the game. Obviously, every time Rodri doesn't play for City, we seem to be a bit of a shell. Then you're thinking back to the games last season, the 4-4 at the Bridge and that, I'm thinking, has Chelsea got something on us a little bit? You know what I mean? So City fans were worrying about the side we're going to select. The team come out, Kovacic in the middle with Bernardo and De Bruyne. You're looking at the Chelsea midfield, Lavios, Acedo, Enzo. I'm thinking that's where the battle's going to be won for me in the middle, because that looks like a decent midfield. You know what I mean? You spent a lot of money on that midfield and you're thinking they could get in and about us there, stop us playing. We had Savinho and Doku on the wings and Haaland up front, which is an exciting front three. And yeah, it worked. He got his game plan right. The Chelsea midfield was awful. Enzo Fernandez, terrible. Caicedo, terrible. Just fouling. Bernardo Silva, the energy, winding people up, you know, all over the park. Mateo Kovacic, man, a player that they let go. Absolutely brilliant. Coming deep, getting the ball like the Rodri position, spinning off, pushing it into tight spaces, getting out of gaps, getting us on the counter-attack. Kevin De Bruyne drifting wide, taking men out of the game, just leaving big gaps in midfield and that. The Doku and Savinho thing at the beginning didn't quite work. Doku on the right, I think Cucurella had his card a little bit. He didn't let him settle on his touch. He was on him first time. But as soon as City swapped it over, Savinho and Cucurella, what a mismatch. Savinho was on him every time. As soon as he dived in, flicked it round him, gone. But I said to the City fans, with them two on the wings, it's going to be a season where some games we're going to get magic and some games we're going to get frustration, because they're both great, but the final ball sometimes is just, it's not there. But listen, the Cucurella, he drinks Estrella, he eats paella, all that bullshit, that came back to haunt him real quick, because Erling Haaland kept composed. He said in his interview last year, he had a one-on-one with Sanchez. He knows he comes rushing out. He didn't rush the shot. He scores, we're winning 1-0. And then what I thought City did really well, I thought that they took the sting out of the game. Every time Chelsea tried to build a little bit ahead of steam, Man City slowed it right down, took it right back to Edison, knocked it around the back four, slowed it up. And I think it was a game of control. And like you say, I didn't think Chelsea were going to score. I just, I was waiting for City to put the final nail in. Kovacic got through, great goal, fair play to him. I think he was man of the match, him and Rico Lewis. But overall, as a City fan, we've got one of the tough games out. I know people are going to take the piss and say it's Chelsea, but it's going to be, when Chelsea do build up ahead of steam, people are going to go to Stamford Bridge in a few months' time, and that's going to be a tough place to go. So for us to go there early and to win and get the 3 points, we're happy and we look good. But one thing I will say, I'm not taking the piss. Me and the Gremlins, we've had good history and bad history. We've had the Porto times when, you know, 5,000 fucking messages and I had to turn my phone off and get to the airport and that. I've had them days. Then I've had the revenge days where I've stood back and laughed at them, and we beat them in finals and things like that, and semi-finals. But that Chelsea setup there, I don't even know what's going on there. The links with João Felix, why? Where's he playing? Who's being dropped? Raheem Sterling. You know, I'm bigger than everybody else. I don't sign Man City shirts. Raheem Sterling can't even get on the fucking bench. He's turned into a bum. His career's gone down the fucking shitter at Chelsea. They're signing João Felix now. And I just feel like that Chelsea, the whole setup around it, you know, no one's calling it out, man. They're selling hotels back to themselves. They're selling the women's team back to themselves. Nobody knows what's fucking going on. Who's picking the team? The chairman wants to add another player to the fucking lineup. 4-4-3. The whole place stinks, man. It stinks of shit. They're not even the Gremlins anymore. I'm going to think of it. They're the fucking swamp dogs now. They're the lowest of the low. It's pond life over there. The Gremlins have all moved off. The new batch has come in. And Matisse, man. Talk to me about that shit show, man. Talk to me about that shit show. The fucking disgrace.
It's good to have you back, brother. I mean, this is painful. You know, this is when you stick the knife right in the chest, not in the back, because you know he's looking at me while I'm saying it. So I'm seeing it. He's sticking the knife right in the heart and just twisting.
But you know what? I've always been consistent in what I say.
No, you have.
I don't change my opinion on everything I've said on this show. I've always stuck my guns on it. If it's from Arteta being decent, to Pochettino being a fraud, to Tuchel being a fraud, to Chelsea being the Gremlins, I'll say it. And a part of me feels sorry for you a little bit because
no, I don't feel sorry. It's
it's
okay.
a fucking.
I remember when I rocked up in
that
sunglasses.
Enzo Fernandez, that Enzo Fernandez is fucking diabolical as a player. He doesn't offer anything to the table. Caicedo is a £25 million max player. If you want someone to go around and foul. Conor Gallagher is better than them two. End the shot.
I disagree. But listen, when it comes down to Chelsea, I've been saying all summer, this team, like I said, I'm embarrassed to ask or say that we need signings, because I think when you spend how much we've spent and bring in the amount of players we brought in, they were saying we have 11 or whatever it is new signings. None of them started. Pedro Neto is the only one that you can say is actually pushing for a starting position. It's something that I don't like saying, but the team is still imbalanced. Now, I think you have to be careful not to go too far in the first game, because it is Man City. Even though personally, I will never accept an L and just sit down and take it, because for me, we should have got something out of that game. I think Man City with no Rodri, Walker didn't play, but you know my thoughts about Walker last season. I think he dropped off quite a bit. I feel like there was something there for the game. If you look at the overall game, the difference between the two teams is that in both boxes, City defend better in terms of their narrow spaces. They gave no space in the middle of the pitch in the first half. They shoved us out wide, and they've got someone up front that will put the ball in the back of the net. And then when Jackson gets an opportunity on the other side, he's take 10 touches before he shoots. That's the difference. It's fine margins. I don't think City destroyed us. I don't think they walked all over us. I don't think it was impossible to get something from that game. But I don't feel sorry for us, because we weren't robbed. We weren't cheated. We just didn't do what you have to do in both boxes. You can play in between the both boxes and look good. Lavia, press resistant, couple of nice passes here and there. But at the end of the day, you've got to have something at the end of it. So listen, I've been saying we're signing too many players. We're bringing in too many players at one go, running before we can walk. I don't need to see 11 young Strasbourg players for the future. I don't need to see 10, 12 players for 2025. Just focus on fixing that 11, balancing it out, and making it make sense, because that is the job of the directors. But like I said, it's the opening game, so we'll see what happens after 5-6 games, and I'll be able to judge this team properly. But I like João Felix as a player. I've always wanted him to do well, but I can't sit here and pretend and say that we need him. If I'm looking at our weaknesses of our team, João Felix is not the name that's popping up in my head. I'm looking at striker. I'm looking at goalkeeper. I'm looking at listen, I like him as a player, Steve. I really do. I think
nobody else likes him as a player, because I know
that. But if I'm looking at our weaknesses, I'm just looking and thinking this team is physically, it's not up to the task. You look at the teams that play the best football in this league. You can look at Arsenal. You can look at Man City. They've got strong players in their team. It's not just about being technically solid and sound. You actually have to have some monsters in there, and there's very few, if any, monsters in our team. There's nobody that you look across the tunnel in just before you're about to walk out and be like, "Fucking hell, I'm scared of him." It just doesn't exist.
On paper, that Chelsea team on
paper, but we've said this so many times, right? We've said this so many times, but managers struggle to find a balance.
The manager ain't going to get the manager's not going to get the time, because he's already getting restless yesterday. He's already trying to play a different kind of football. He was trying to be patient. He overthought it against Pep, because he thought, Pep's the master, I'm going to do this, Pep's going to do this. Pep just tweaked it here and there, but he's not going to get the time. I just don't feel he's going to get the time. The fans are already rumbling about it, and the way he was like slowing the game down a little bit and that. And I just feel like I seen Nkunku fucking tutting and upping and puffing because he got took off and that. The whole setup just looks like it stinks, man. There's not even enough fucking seats behind the dugout to sit all them players in Armani fucking shirts and shit that I see. And I don't even know who half of them are. Big gold earrings in and shit like that. That is bullshit, that. And then I seen a picture of the training ground. You need to build more car spaces in the training ground for the fucking players. Because it was like fitness first. It was like fitness first on January the 1st. You know, when every cunt's in the gym. That's what it was like. You know, everyone's there doing like fighting over the weights and that, trying to do some shit, but didn't have enough equipment and that.
I'll judge the playing squad's numbers after the transfer window is closed, because that's when we actually know what we've got. some media outlets are overdoing it, and they're bringing Tino Angerins and players that have been on loan at Portsmouth into the first team squad, which I think is a bit unnecessary, considering if you just put who's actually in the first team squad, that makes your point fine. But like I said, it's the first game. I'm not gonna absolutely lose it. I agree with you in regards to the style of football because I saw it under Maurizio Sarri. I gave
You
that
must
manager.
be worried, though. Are you worried about the state
Of course,
of the club?
of course I'm worried. Of course I'm worried. But bro, you know it is. And listen, you're City fan, so you saw. I'm not saying your team was run poorly, but you remember what it's like to finish mid-table or to not be at the high heights. Maybe because you wasn't dropping off and you were only on the upward ascendancy, that it's not the same. But you also do become numb to it, and it's not in my nature to just cuss. I'll cuss after a 6-0 Arsenal loss on the fly because I'm feeling it in that emotional moment. But I always have to revert back to norm and just try to go again.
And Conte,
I understand.
And Ancelotti and all these players. You can't go from that level to this level, spending what we're spending recklessly, putting all these players together with no structure, and then not.
I've said this. I've said this a million times already. You've brought in 30, 40 players, whatever it is, in the last 3 years.
They've got to be accountable now, though, for this. This season, there's no excuses, man. This season, no excuse.
After 3 years, I've said all of this. After 3 years, you've brought in 30, 40 players under 3 different managers. And people, when I say that the directors need to be held accountable at the end of the season for the decisions, from a managerial standpoint, from a player recruitment standpoint, they need to be held accountable with how we finish the season if we don't make top 4. Some people look at me and say, oh, you're doing too much. Why don't you praise our incredible recruitment? If you spend 1.4 billion pounds, you should have some quality in the team. It's not enough to say Chelsea have some quality players and Chelsea have some talent from signing 40. You have, 5, 6 players. That's not good enough. It has to balance. The maths has to math. And until a manager comes in here and says that we have the balance and the team that I'm trying to put on paper makes sense, and I don't have to, look at an Enzo and a Caicedo and ask myself, do I have enough physicality in the midfield? I don't have to look at an Enzo and say, all right, we have to play him in the 10 because he doesn't track his runners in the double pivot. And then people say, why are you playing him out of position? You don't have to look at a Mudryk and say, how many more instructions and 1-to-1, teaching on the sidelines do I have to give you to get any change out of you? Once these questions are answered and the manager that they've hired is able to put that team together to win consistent football matches, then we can praise them. But until they're able to do that, like you said, it just looks good on paper, but it's not. In reality, it's not be able to put up results. So this is the season for that. Otherwise, them man have to be fired.
You lot can hear me now, yeah?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. Cool. I think with the Chelsea game, I agree with Matisse. It wasn't a game you look at as a Chelsea fan and you're like necessarily angry at the performance, but I think some of the points Steve is making has to take priority. And I actually feel sorry for any manager who takes that job, because on top of the fact that this is game 1, any manager working in that setup, it's hell. There's so many players to please. There's so many different players that you have to cater for in your system. Like you have central midfielders. Like we've just spoken about Enzo Fernandez, right? We know that he can't play in the 10, but when he plays as a number 8, he's not got the physicality to play in a double pivot. And then when you couple that with his inconsistent performances when he's in possession, the thing that he's meant to be good at, and he's 108 million, the manager's like, I'm under pressure to play him, but when I'm playing him, I'm not getting the end result, right? The same you could say with probably different issues with Caicedo. Caicedo put in better performances towards the back end of last season in comparison to Enzo. But again, there are so many players in that Chelsea team that are struggling to find consistency. And I just feel like it's a lot for a manager to deal with. There are obvious things that he could do better, that he will learn. It's game 1. Like in Nkunku, for me, from when I've seen him, you can't play him on the wing. He's basically useless on the wing, right? You have to put him central. As a manager, he will learn that. He will absolutely learn that. But broadly, the circumstances in which any manager is being put into for Chelsea, it's not good enough. Chelsea fans will celebrate and say, some Chelsea fans will celebrate, say we want to transfer and the recruitment's good. The recruitment isn't good. It's not good. For every good, talented player, there's about 4 busts. There's about 4 duds. You look at the centre-back pairing now, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. So I can't come in here and one sec, I can't come in here and put it all on the manager. The manager's still finding his feet. You have to look higher up.
Deeper than
You have
that.
to.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
they've completely ruined Chelsea. Like I said this, I had a big rant before. They've killed Chelsea. Like Chelsea, they might get Champions League this season, but as far as a trophy winning club is concerned, that's not them. This is not a trophy winning team right now. It's not. Let's be serious.
Do you know what it is? Even though if the players are good, right, and they have bought a few good players, right, no manager can function with a 50-man squad. It makes zero sense. How the hell is this inexperienced guy as well on top of that, right? And his second job, is it Matisse? Second job,
Yeah,
right?
second job that. Yeah,
we
from what I can see.
all know Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal have had to flash out, get the squad, and then the manager earns the trust of the players earn the trust of the coach, and there's unity throughout. How are you going to do this with this many players on the wages they're on the contracts they're on? How's he supposed to manage this? He may be a good coach, and I do think he's a good coach, right? I think he's a very good coach. I think potentially he's going to do very well from the coaching aspect. But how is he going to manage this football club? It's a circus. Like, to manage this is a head.
But we was in this position when Graham Potter last time Felix was here. Last time Felix was here, we was in the same position in terms of the squad numbers. And I said, that's why I said coming into this summer, only do what is absolutely necessary to impact and improve the starting 11. If you're not doing that, then leave it alone, because you need to balance out the squad and you need to get rid of people more than you need to bring people in.
But this is what I'm saying. People are saying I'm flip-flopping because I had them in outsiders shout for the top four. I'm not. I'm still praising the coach. I'm still praising. For example, I think, and this is like, people know about my love affair with Chelsea, but I think you got nothing to be totally despondent about on the pitch yesterday. From what I saw,
Agree.
From the game that we saw, Man City didn't blitz you. I thought Man City were going to coast through the game. Like, you guys, we were doing the watch along, and I said, yeah, game over once they scored. But overall, Chelsea did get back in the game, and they did show things. Obviously, and I agree with you, they didn't show that they needed Felix the following day, which is another crackpot decision. Like, you watch that game, and you really think you need Felix. Like, what if?
But they don't. I don't think they believe that they need Felix. I think what they think is we need to get rid of Gallagher, and therefore we need to bring in Felix. Again, we're seeing a lot of these deals where you got to sell some. You got to bring someone in from the same club, like a Kellyman, to get rid of a Matson or a Felix for a Gallagher. I don't believe at the start of this window their plan was to go and buy Felix, because it obviously wasn't. It obviously wasn't.
It's pay as you go. It's literally pay as you go. There's no plan. They're going. They're pay as you go.
In a nutshell, that sums their management.
George Mendes has had his way a bit.
Yeah. 100%. People look at this and say, "Oh no, the big six are slating Felix." No, Felix is a good player, but it's the same point we made when he was on loan. I said, like, what problem does Felix solve in that Chelsea team? If it comes to technical ability, they've got Nkunku, they've got Palmer. They got Palmer for playmaking, right? When you look at that Chelsea front line, what is the single biggest issue with that Chelsea front line? It's the goals. They don't have players capable of running up the numbers outside of Cole Palmer. Jackson tried to do his best last year. He's young, he's developing, but you saw yesterday, that Chelsea, at the heart of it, do not have a killer through the middle, unless they probably play Nkunku. And if you play him through the middle, there are going to be games where he's physically beasted. So you look at that front line, they need goals, but you go out and spend 40 million on João Felix. Anyway,
but he's from the Pep school as well, right? And we know what Pep done for a few years. We've seen what Arteta's doing. Maybe this is his idea as well. Maybe the idea is to unlock Neto, unlock Mudryk, unlock Madueke in terms of more goals from the wings. If you add a Felix, even a Palmer, who can float in as Felix comes out. But potentially that's because I don't think it's out of his hands either. Surely the manager has some sort of say after
he's a head coach.
After all these duds, surely there must
the reason why they hired him is because he's meant to just kind of take what he's given, right? If they wanted somebody that was gonna rebuttal and disagree, then Pochettino was right there, telling them, I want this, I want that, I don't want Gallagher to leave or whatever. So for me, when you're bringing in a head coach from Leicester who's massively being kind of fast tracked into this position to handle this kind of pressure. And I agree with Steve over the whole like booing of maybe the style of football. We had the same thing with Sorry. It's just not. It's not the football that I think the match goers really want to see. But again, they kind of have to buy into it. Now there's no choice. They have to. But yeah,
what is actually wrong with the football though? I don't get it.
I don't think there's
so
wrong with
the part where they were booing or jeering, I don't know. Now again, I don't want to say exactly why, because they might just be disillusioned over the state of the club from an exterior standpoint off the pitch, which is fair enough. Again, right? There's been a lot going on, but when we're building out from the back at times, we're moving the ball a lot slower than maybe people would like.
Yeah, that's when I thought they were booing. It looked like when they were trying to build it up slow from the back, that the crowd were getting frustrated because what City were doing was just stopping them getting it into midfield. So the back four or the back three were knocking it around there with a goalkeeper. But that's what City were doing. But I just feel like last season, the Saudi Arabian money bailed a lot of teams out. I think a lot of teams had players they didn't want. The Saudis came in, they took them on big money. Liverpool cleared a few out, Fabinho, etc. Chelsea, Koulibaly and all that. And I feel like some clubs were waiting for that again this year, thinking, we've got a few players here, lads, you can have. And the Saudis are like, nah, we ain't doing that again. We're hanging about. We want bigger players now. And I feel like Chelsea have got a problem with, there's a lot of, to try and keep that many players happy, which you're never going to do, and to try and keep that many players in and around the squad, they're never going to do. And it just looks like, and like you say, you've got Neto, you've got Nkunku, you've got Mudryk, now you've got Felix, they're talking about Osimhen, they've got Lukaku still knocking about there. It's like
they need a lot of luck.
They
need a lot of luck. They need to Lukaku, Kepa, Chilwell, Sterling. I don't know what's going on with Disasi, but I don't think that's as big an issue in the immediate future.
I think it's the most obvious transfer ban preparation.
I wouldn't mind.
See,
I wouldn't be too fussed.
Like they've got a transfer ban coming up, and they're stocked up. Yeah, they're stockpiling because they know they're going to get. I think they're going to get a huge transfer ban. But let's see how it goes, because that's the most obvious. Okay, that's the only logical. I'm being kind here. That's the only logical and sane explanation. Otherwise, there is nothing.
I'm sure this is not going to be the last time we get into this exact topic with Chelsea. So I wanna move on to City a bit more as well. And Grizz, I think you said it in terms of that feeling, seeing them win comfortably away from home against another big six side, one they struggled with last year.
I said it's going to be disheartening. I said it's going to be for the Premier League. Arsenal, more Arsenal than Liverpool, because we're not in that title race. Obviously, you are when you start, but I know we're not. But I said it's going to be disheartening for Arsenal fans, because without Rodri, and we know their record without Rodri, without Stones, without Walker to a lesser extent, and a few players that you could tell were just come back, just like Liverpool. We're going to get onto the Liverpool game, just like a lot of their players have come back to training this week, right, Steve? So this was the time for Chelsea, rejuvenated. Hopefully the crowd will think a bit behind the back, no injuries, really put them under pressure. And they did. But the way Man City still dealt with it and walked away in the end, fairly unscathed, it doesn't bode well for the Premier League. It just doesn't. And us were watching the game, and we were marveling at a few players, but I think they've got another gem in Savio or Savinho. He keeps changing his name.
Yeah. No, he's a good player, man.
He's a quality player, man.
Yeah, he's a quality player. But
he took Mahrez's number.
Forget everything else. Forget everything else, guys. That little rat in midfield, Bernardo Silva, man. Oh my God!
Do you know what? He's becoming a little shit out as well, and I love that, man. He done Garnacho.
He's always been a shit out
with that, and then he's giving it to Enzo the other day, and I feel like, I love that, man. Bernardo's important.
He's one of those players, of course, that if he's on your side, you love him, and against him, everyone hates him. But that touch, Steve, that's how we were talking about on the watch along, just for the Haaland goal. Like, that is the most slightest, you don't notice it, but that's genius. Like, that made the difference between something out of nothing. And we first thought that, I thought it was like a miscontrol or a bad pass or whatever. And when you slow
I
it
knew
down,
it
you
wasn't,
realize,
man. I knew it.
you're a gangster. Innit? Oh, you're a gangster. But like, we thought whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the way he just flicked it around to Haaland, Bernardo Silva is just cold, man. He's absolute. Oh, I hate him, but he's so good, so good. And like when it was so many senior players missing, or a few players missing, he rose up because Kevin De Bruyne didn't look himself. No Rodri, and
Yeah, he wasn't good. He wasn't good.
This fella stood up.
But can I?
Yeah, we got.
Can I just say though? Go on.
Go on. No, the news about
No,
Gundogan.
go.
Gundogan. What I'm being told is that he wants to come back. City weren't expecting it. They were down the line with someone else, midfielder that they were supposed to sign. I don't know the name, but apparently Ilkay is not top priority at the minute. But if they do bring Gundogan in, they'll bring another midfielder in, and then they're going for another striker. Not a big name striker, just somebody to put a bit of pressure on Haaland. But
Johnny,
I've heard two names tonight. I've heard Duran from Villa has been mentioned, which is a weird one. I can't see it. And then somebody mentioned the guy from Celtic, that Kyogo, which whatever. But I don't know. I feel like City squad is good enough, man. I look around it and I feel like it's good.
Sorry,
Steve,
Duran
sorry,
would, not gonna lie. Go on.
But now we're on this. Let's not even get into Duran. But now we're on this because it's your return and whatnot. Well, what's going on in the summer? Like, this is unusual for City to have such a summer. It's supposedly Pep's last year or rumored to be, but then there's hints that there might be an extension there. What's this summer about? Is this summer about the pending investigation? Is this summer about no point spending in Pep's last season, give it to the next manager? Well, why have you been so?
Listen, there's plenty of money there. There's plenty of money there. They've only been adding 1 or 2 players a season. They've been making ridiculous amounts of money and profit on academy players and sell-on clauses. There's a shitload of money there if they want to spend it. But that's a sign of a good club. If you don't need to spend, if you've just won 4 Premier League titles on the trot, you don't need to spend a lot of money. Even if you're losing a couple of players, you bring in a couple of players. If your club starts buying 5 or 6 players, you know you've got problems because you know that following season. If you're just tweaking it 1 or 2, I mean, and that's hard to get used to. As football fans, we all want a transfer window. We all want signings. It's what we do. And then it's something we've had to get used to as City being more successful, that you ain't going to get 4 or 5 in. It's going to be 1. It's going to be 1 and a kid who maybe come in the City group and then gets loaned to Girona and then maybe come back. We've got Savinho in, who looks great. But we've lost Alvarez, Calvin Phillips. We've lost a lot of the youth team out on loan. We've got El Chaviri coming from River Plate in January. But I feel City are going to get 1 or 2 in. But I don't know what's going to happen with Pep. He keeps talking in riddles. He's saying he wants to manage in the World Club Cup end of the season. Then he's saying he's not motivated to win the league yet. He's motivated near the end of the season. But when you actually sit down and look at City squad and write it down, we're in good shape. And over the last 4 years, the caliber of players we've lost, and it's somehow managed not to impact us, and we've carried on winning the league, is testament to what Pep does. There's other teams, Liverpool's the same. You know, they've lost a few players here and there. They have a little bit of a drop-off. They might go in the Europa League or come back or whatever. But City just keep doing it and keep doing it. And I feel like we're all right. I feel like we're all right. Savinho freshens it up. Get a backup striker to Big Earl. Another midfielder in there. And if Ilkay can come back, it'd be great.
I think so. Haaland as well, 91 goals in 100 Premier League games. Like, his goal scoring is ridiculous. Like, I get the point on his link play, etc., etc. What he does when he's not scoring.
15, remember that?
Nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. He's just, when Haaland gets the ball in those positions, and I was saying this on a watch long, you don't even doubt. Like, he's got the strength to hold off 2 players and then tuck it. Like, the finish as well. He's a ridiculous striker, man. Ridiculous striker. He's gonna get to 100 Premier League goals by what, like October, maybe October earlier.
It's crazy,
ridiculous striker. And I actually think Duran is not a bad shout for Man City, if I'm being honest. From the little I've seen of him, he looks talented. Like, he looks like he's got technical quality. Of course, we don't know what his goal scoring is like, but he looks a player that could that could do a job in rotation for Man City. So
100%.
yeah, I don't think that would be a bad shot at all. At all.
I thought a quick mention to Rico Lewis, man. You know what I mean? He's reliable, man. Can't lie to you. He's every time he puts a City shirt, I don't think I've ever seen a bad game from this kid, man. You know what I'm saying? Very reliable.
The thing with Rico, we want him. Pep didn't know where to play him. He's played left back, he's played right back, he's played centre mid, he's played just false nine. He's literally played everywhere. I feel like he needs to say, right, you're going to be right back. You and Kyle Walker and Akanji, they're the right backs. You're going to rotate. But what Rico can do, which Kyle can't do, Rico can come into midfield and play in that inverted role. Kyle Walker can't do that. If Kyle Walker comes in the middle of the park, it's fucking chaos. So he doesn't try and do it. But Rico Lewis, Pep had a little bit of worry about his height. But who needs height when you've got the ball? You know what I mean? We've got the ball. We've got control. He was coming into midfield. He was taking the little touches. And like you say, him yesterday and Kovacic for me were the two players, outstanding players. And Rico Lewis is another one, got a big future. But yeah, man, it's looking good for us at the minute. I can't lie. It's looking good. I'm not worried.
Let me look at the super chats because we've got a fair few in as expected. Game week 1, Big 6 fixture. KP says, oh, well, right on cue, Saeed. Please speak on Rico Lewis pocketing Nkunku and Neto, Savinho cooking La Cucurocha, and Doku stitching up Gusto. Chelsea fans always overrate their team.
Let me just mention Doku, yeah? Listen, Doku, if Doku played for a team lower in the league, he'd be getting absolutely fried for his performance against Chelsea. So let's not do this Doku thing because Doku's playing like Madueke, I'll be honest. That brother, he's great on the dribble. He's great 1v1. But some of his crossing in the first half and some of his overhit passes when City were in transition were a joke. Yeah. So let's not do this Doku thing, please. Everybody else, I'll hear it, but not Doku. Yes, I know Doku got an assist. And when you're in a winning team and it doesn't cost you points, it's easier to get down. But at the end of the day, if you do that for a team that doesn't get as many chances as Cities do, you're in trouble. So that's just that. Facts.
You are in trouble, but in the end of the day, a team like Man City who have the ball almost all the time, who are playing against deep blocks all the time, yes, the end product isn't there, but they need a player of Doku's quality to do what he did to Gusto yesterday, which is unlock a deep block. And he destroyed Gusto. When he went on the left-hand side, he absolutely destroyed Gusto. The only difference, which is why his performance isn't deemed a good one, is the end product. We know the end product was not good enough for Doku.
We've seen Adama Traore rip up people as well.
Agree, and that's why
I'm saying. So that's the point I'm making.
Adama Traore has nowhere near the close control.
I know he doesn't, but I'm saying
let's not do that.
Ripping up a fullback, set maximum. There's loads of examples. Ripping up a fullback doesn't get you far in most teams.
So Maximin is probably the closest example.
Agree. So Maximin is a good example. Agree, which is why we're not saying Doku played well. But
there's got to be an end product.
There has to.
The thing is with Jeremy, I've described it. I said it on my blog before on my channel. This season, we're going to end up with Savio and Doku. You're going to get games where they're absolutely sensational, and then you're going to get games where they're absolutely frustrating you to death. And that's the way it's going to be because they're young and raw. But Jeremy's like a speedboat with no driver. He's rapid, but he ain't got a fucking clue where he's going. And half the time, he don't know where he's going. So towards the end of last season, I've got to give Pep a little bit of credit. He calmed him down a little bit. And the title running, Doku was a little bit different. He was getting a crossing that was semi-decent. He was setting up goals. Yesterday, he was like a fucking puppy in a field with a ball. You get a puppy, throw him in the field, throw a ball, he's fucking chase it all day long, but you don't know where it's going. And that's exactly what happened yesterday with Doku. He was just a bit raw, but he'll come good. He'll get there.
That's a bit surprising, though. You know that, because I agree. I think because we've got someone similar in Luis Diaz who's very frustrating. He can like sort of twist and turn defenders for a joke, you know. But then the final product is a bit lackey. But it's not like Pep, though, is it, Steve? So that's what I'm thinking. He's evolving his tactics again. Now he's playing 2.5 wingers. Now, like, just when we thought, he's had enough of wingers. Do you remember was it a year ago or something you said about wingers?
I've noticed, Grizz, you're right what you say, because for the last 3 years, we've been frustrated to death with Jack Grealish being in a position to cross it and coming back on himself and passing it. And the same. Now he's got Savinho and Doku who are going on the outside and crossing. And Haaland's making them runs to attack it. And that's what's different. And it takes you back to the Raheem Sterling, Leroy Sané days when we were breaking from midfield. You've seen it yesterday. And we've got you on the counter-attack. We've drawn Chelsea in. We set the trap. Kovacic twisted himself out, pushed it through the gap. Next minute, we're 3-on-2. And Doku had a bad pass, like Matisse said. He broke through, and all he had to do was square it to Haaland, and the defender put it out.
It's the first thing I noticed in the watch along yesterday. I said, guys,
He's changed it.
Straight away, I said, look at the difference in tactics from Pep. But yeah.
Next one in from DJ says, let's also keep in mind game week 1. That's the weakest City you will see. Was Cole Palmer playing? Must have missed him. Should you buy one more keeper? I guess. Should you buy one more keep? Oh, I guess that's
Chelsea.
the
It's just trying to be Chelsea in there because they've got about 7, remember?
Okay.
Chelsea. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about their keeper?
No, we've done it to death, man.
It's 45 minutes.
Yeah.
In.
45
Tottenham
minutes.
just drew to Leicester. My
Like I
goodness.
said,
We can talk about that.
Goodness, I'm so bored of this rhetoric. This just
So am
repeat
I.
and repeat and repeat. Chelsea have 5-7 keepers. Chelsea have this, that, the third. Just
Yeah.
wait until the transfer window closes. See what's left over. And
I
then
wasn't even talking about your 7 goalkeepers. I was talking about the guy who's playing. He's not good.
Oh, yeah.
Don't care about
You
the
don't
rest.
need to tell me. Hey, listen.
Not good.
That if Brighton can drop you to 3rd choice, what business do you have playing for my football club? Seriously,
That was
you have no
shocking.
business. You have no business. But
Agreed.
again, this is a signing that comes in, and I'm not allowed to criticize. I'm not allowed to criticize the fact that we've bought 6-7 keepers under this recruitment strategy, and none of them are good enough to start.
Robert, you'll be probably better off with Robert from the chat, Robert Mugabe, instead of Robert
Well, maybe
Sanchez.
we put him in goal.
I don't know, man.
Maybe
Yeah,
we put him in goal.
He defends
Don't-
Chelsea better than Robert Sanchez.
The only hope I have left is I need to see this goalkeeper from Villarreal because I know what Sanchez is. I already know. So this is not going to be new information for me when he's making a couple good saves, or you calling them camera saves, but he's making a couple good saves. I know the bozo moment is coming. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I've seen it time and time again. So I'm waiting for this new Villarreal goalkeeper to come in so I can see what he's about, see if he's good enough. That's all I need to see. This whole Sanchez thing is I've already seen this before. Maresca, again, like Toby said, this is just something he's gonna have to learn the hard way because every Chelsea fan already knows. So we just have to wait for him to clock.
This one here says, yesterday Chelsea looked like you lot trying to play 3-on-3 pickup basketball in the States. Terrible. TN Delta says, the fact Enzo was made captain post-song survived 90 minutes with that generationally stinky performance, and Igbali's comments is cause to worry for Chelsea. Not that they needed any more causes, but you are right. Where are you? Fuego says, where are you lot getting 50-man squad? The guy literally said he only works with 29 players in training in his latest presser.
He has to work his squad down to 29, my brother.
Yeah.
Listen to what we say.
That's why it's the level to leave, innit?
Yeah, listen to what we say, brother.
What's this one on? Imagine you're a child from somewhere like Brazil and someone is offering you 30. Well, you're a child, you're being offered 30k anyway. You'll be, but I get it, a week for 7 years, even though you don't like the game, but your parents do.
See, I don't know. Chelsea is signing Brazilian kids as well, but that's another weird thing. I mean, if you've got the backbone of a good side, you've got some flair coming from Brazil, and you drop them in it, then fair play, it's going to cook. But at the minute, you won't be putting some Brazilian kids in anywhere near that team.
And that's my thing with Esteban Kendry Pires coming next summer. Like, until I see balance and a spine and leaders and balance, and again, I've said that, then how can I over expect and over gas these kids coming in because they're going to have the pressure is completely different of the Premier League.
Kill them.
This one came in earlier from DJ, and he says, you'll let him get away with this. All the City injuries. City played twice as many games last season, 1.3 billion spent at home, and you'll let him say, quote, we should have got something, we played well. He was saying Cover's washed up.
No one said Cover's washed up. Cover's a good player. Cover just had injuries, which he hasn't really had as much at City, but that's probably because they didn't use him as much as we did. But we should have got something out of the game.
Robert back in the building. If we play like that for more, Steve, you and Robert are gonna get along like a house on fire. If we play like that for most of the season, we'll win many games. Haaland was the main difference. I like how he set us up and his tactical versatility.
This is the only one I'm not gonna finish off with Robert and tell him to go about his business and have a good day. Because I actually agree with him. This one. It's the only one. Robert sent us about 68 super chats. This is the only one that's makes sense. No, fair play. This makes sense.
Big up Robert. Next one here from Maha says, said it on DR and I'll say it here. United have a better future than Chelsea. United finally have a proper structure, and Chelsea's structure has zero footballing clue. I wouldn't talk too soon.
I love cashing in your chips early. It's good. It's good to do.
So silly.
It's so close to drawing against Fulham at home, but you know it's fine. Cash in.
Big up Aston. Hope you're well, my bro. Family, all of that. Chelsea were a rich man's plaything, not a real football establishment. Now fans are nervous because unlike United, Liverpool, or Arsenal, if you go away, you won't be back. Pretenders of London.
Why is Turkish leaving silence gaps for me? I'm not saying nothing.
You didn't even leave me a chance to leave a silent gap. Relax,
bro. We got a show to do, man.
Let's go into that little
Read
bit,
faster.
Jimmy says the game totally changed when Lavia came off. He showed, I won't say totally changed, but Lavia was definitely quality. He showed more in 90 than Enzo in a year and a half. He's become the new Pogba. Wondering where he plays, and I even think, listen, people know that I think Pogba was a flop, but I think that's disrespectful to Pogba to say Enzo's become the new.
It is at the moment massive disrespect. It's not even. Yeah,
don't
you
even
can't
mention
do
them
that.
in the same sentence.
Can't do
Honestly,
you can't.
It's mad. Let me see. KP says most of your predictions were disrespectful to City. Did you all forget who City are? Joke thing. If any of you think anyone else is winning the league, KP in full effect. The Devil in Red says, not gonna lie, Big Stephen Hughes, the only City fans I rate. Big up the panel every single time. Love the work you're putting in or putting up. Keep up the good work, brothers. Love for the love. Roberto, Big Steve, shout out everyone on the panel. Love the show. Assalamu alaikum, my UK Muslim brothers. Stay safe out there. Steve, if we sign Gundogan, is it over for everyone and the red rags? Kraid, treble times 2.
This is over for everyone anyway, man. 4 league titles in, man.
Look,
the levels are high. People need to realise how high and how good and how well run this club is, man. I'm telling you.
The City fans are here in full effect. There to go as well. Says big up Skull. That intro was cold. Steve, let the games begin. That's the ones on City and actually Tanya. No preseason. Cold Palmer's gonna cook. You wait. We will be here before and after every game week. So, we're not going anywhere, people. Make sure you subscribe. We passed 2,000 likes, but there's 8.6K in the building. So let's get to 5,000 likes. First show of the season, or first review show of the season. Big Steve's back. We've just done a watch along. Why can't we get 5,000 likes, people? Let's make it happen. Let's get that engagement up. All right, cool. That's that done. There are others. Look, Soul Fuel says love and blessings to each. Come on, love for the love always. Hope you and the fam are all good. Bilal's reminding us about GRIZZ's forfeit. We don't need reminding. He's lucky.
Did he just spend £10 on trying?
£10.
Brother, relax and live your life, bro.
What's the forfeit?
Steve,
he doesn't know yet, but we'll talk. But basically, it hasn't happened because we've been busy. Summer was busy, so.
Young man, go about your life.
Bilal's serious, man. He's here for we have to feed the streets.
We can't go anywhere. We can't go anywhere. The predictions table loses all credibility if you don't do your forfeit. As somebody who's done a forfeit, I'm standing on business with that.
Do you know what I think he needs to do? Yeah, I think he needs to go to the Blue Planet Aquarium in Cheshire there, and he has to dive with the sharks in the shark tank.
Can you? What is that? Something you do? If people do that?
I've done it. I'm scared of the sea. And people dared me to do it for charity, and I went there. And you spend an hour, you train to dive, and if you can get the thing in and out of your mouth and not panic, you can go in, and then they take you in the tank, and there's a tunnel where the rest of you can watch, so you can film him, and he take him down to the bottom, and the sharks and that are in there. It's crazy. I'll pay for it. It's about 500 quid, and I'll pay for it. I want to see him. I want to see you. I want to see you in the shark tank. I want to see you in the shark tank.
We need that.
See you back in Punta Cana, wherever you went, right?
I agree. I think we might have a winner. I think we
need
might
that.
have a winner. We'll talk.
Shark tank, Chris. The sharks have come.
I didn't get into I didn't get into the fucking jacuzzi that these lot fucking contaminated in fucking Los Angeles, and you want me to
Can you swim, Grizz?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right,
He said
man,
that
don't
was
worry,
smart, regretfully, like, yeah, I
You
can.
think I got Crocodile Dundee hat for jokes?
It's
Brother.
true.
That's what I'm saying. You want to hear a crocodile Dundee hat on and then be scared of sharks. You've got to go in the tank.
Crocodiles like you lot before, man. Relax. Rhino skin.
So there's one Liverpool man surrounded by multiple sharks. That's very
yeah.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the you know, that's good.
Shark Tank Grizz,
That's
man.
good imagery.
Get the shark.
Yeah,
if
man.
you want to see Grizz in the Shark Tank, get the hashtag Shark Tank Grizz. Enough hashtags. I've got to get him in the tank. We'll get him in the tank, man. For charity, man. For charity, he's going in the Shark Tank. It's not far. Take you there. We can film it from the tunnel. What a day that'd be, seeing Grizz in. You know what? I'll probably come in the tank with you as well. I've done it before. I'll probably come in, hold your hand.
No, you have to let him do it. You have to let him do it alone. Let him do it alone.
Get him in a tank. Yeah, hashtag it.
We'll sort that out. It seems like the community wants that, so we'll sort that out. Hassan says, good to have Steve back. Which one legend from your club would you have back this season? Big love.
Gundo, innit?
Was that for everyone?
Yeah, definitely.
Is that for everyone or just Big Steve?
Oh, I
No,
thought it
not
was
for
Steve.
Steve.
Oh.
Yeah, get Gundo back. Yeah,
And what? Anyone?
Obviously you'd probably get Aguero back or someone, but
No,
realistic one was Gundo. Yeah, no, but I feel like, imagine a little. Remember Niall Quinn and Kevin Phillips, little and large. Imagine Erling Haaland and Kun Aguero. You imagine? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Toure and Rodri though, and De
Oh,
Bruyne.
David Silva in there.
Stop.
I know.
Stop with the Yaya Toure.
That would be disgusting.
Toast has just literally lost his mind. Look, he's licking his lips. You can't even speak. Yo, you're muted again, brother.
You're muted again,
right, man.
I don't know what's going on.
It's this wire, bro. It's doing my head in.
It's tantalizing.
Now
Yeah?
again, it's this wire.
This brother works in IT as well.
Yeah, and I've just told you the issue. I've got the root cause. It's a fucking wire that's come with this mic, right? So
yeah, do you know what? Yeah, I remember having to buy a new one.
I've got to the root cause. It's this wire, but I can't
You're gonna have to get a new wire
now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to buy a new wire.
So yeah,
comes with shit wire.
Yeah. So why didn't you tell me that?
Sorry.
Why do you keep drip feeding these things to me and just expecting? Oh, you should know. Why didn't you tell me everything up front? Why?
I'm doing it in amortization. Amortization information.
Waste,
you know
man.
what I mean?
Like your club.
Guys, I've got the maddest chicken pasta ever in the world, like ever created.
This guy.
You're so unserious. You're actually
funny,
such an unserious individual.
Enjoy. Prathamesh says Haaland has 64 goals in Premier League, not 91, but I believe it's 91 in 100 appearances in all comps.
Yeah, I got it confused, and I even said that in the chat. So let me live, man. Honestly, we all make mistakes.
There was one here from Sudge. Big up Sudge, just dropping here to welcome back Big Steve and love to the Big Six community. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and the individual channels. Big up Sudge, valued member. Where's this one? The Devil in Red also said, you lot are taking the piss being late this often. You should add coming late for the points tally table. It will be top and win every single season.
Were we that late?
No, I don't think so.
We weren't that late
No,
today.
time tonight, won't we?
But
Okay,
late
no
is
problem.
Like 5 minutes.
late is late. What can we do? We move. Next up on the agenda. Let me look. Well, the only other Big Six team to drop points being Tottenham today, fresh off a 1-1 draw against Leicester. TOBS, you looked angrier 30 minutes ago, so hopefully you've calmed down a little.
That anger wasn't really towards the team, even though I'm disappointed with the team. That anger was towards the fact that when I was recording my post-match video, my flipping wireless mic just lost battery halfway through, and I didn't clock it until I was doing the editing. And I see why is there no, like, you know, the sound waves, no sound waves. So I then had to cut it, record it again with a different mic, but I'm obviously in a different position, man. Like there's just so many things that just went wrong. I just wanted to get a video out there quickly before the Big Six, and it just just ruined my feng shui. So yeah, that's what was actually pissing me off. Not so much the result, even though I'm not happy with the result, but that was a driving force behind it.
You got to the root cause.
Well, I got to the root cause, yeah. So the video's up now, but it's just, yeah, it's just, I don't even like it. It's just
welcome, brother. Welcome to the world.
To life, man.
Welcome.
He doesn't like
we'll give you crash course,
bro. It's fucking stupid. I've had literally the longest day. Like this week and next week, I'm busting my ass at work, and it's just to have to record a video after Spurs drop points, and it does that. It's just pissed me off, man. So yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't good.
I hear that.
But the result was just dumb, man. It was an embarrassing result. Don't care what anyone tells me. Yes, I know it's game one. Yes, it may not have a significant impact on our season, but nobody can convince me otherwise. That is an embarrassing result. They're newly promoted. They're playing a pensioner up front in Jamie Vardy. Yes, I know he scored against us. Yes, I know he has a fantastic goal scoring record against us. But what really, really annoyed me was our inability to convert our chances in the first half, convert our dominance. And then the second half, the minute there's adversity in the game, just anyone here who's watched Game of Thrones, you know what wildfire is, yeah? Wildfire, it spreads quick. And that's what you saw. The lack of composure was just spreading across our team like wildfire. And I didn't like the substitutions that Ange Postecoglou made. I didn't like him. I thought, I can understand the Archie Gray one, but why are you taking off Maddison and bringing on Bergvall? What the heck? I like Bergvall, he's talented, but what is Bergvall going to do more than a James Maddison when the game's at 1-1? It didn't make any sense to me, especially after he was our best player in the first half. But it's not just on Ange. There were so many bad performances. I thought, and I know Grizz is licking his lip thinking about this, but Dominic Solanke, I thought that was a really poor debut. Didn't think he played well today. He'll come good, but like little flashes here and there. But today just wasn't there. Finishing boots weren't there. Even his all-round game just wasn't to the standard I expect. Son was terrible. Brennan Johnson, I'm still scratching my head at that transfer. I'm still scratching my head at 48 million spent, because every single time I watch this guy where he's not running onto a ball to tap it in, or he gets to get the ball in behind, he really sticks out like a sore thumb, and not for the right reasons. Defensively, Pedro Porro and Romero, terrible for the goal. Like, I don't even know what Romero is doing. Romero completely leaves Vardy, goes to where? You're marking empty space. Jamie Vardy's the danger. There's only one striker in the box, and you've left him for what? Because you're ball watching. Pathetic. Even Destiny, I thought he was poor. Yeah, man. I just wasn't really happy with how we managed that game in the second half. And I just don't like how the game state can just change like that for Tottenham. I've been saying this for months. I hate it. I hate the fact that no matter what period we're in a game of football, one game or one goal just changes and derolls everything for Tottenham. I hate it. I hate how open we are off the ball. I hate how susceptible we are from set pieces. I hate how easy it is for teams to score against us. I can't stand it. And we really need to do something about it. And that's a Ange issue, and that's a player issue. So that's all I have to say to it. If you don't want to have at it with the rest of our players, go ahead.
SAEED, I'm just looking at Saeed's smirk, and it's just hilarious.
You can smirk.
You just know you know exactly what
his boy was dead against Fulham. I watched that game.
Was he dead? Was he dead?
Yeah, was he dead? He didn't play well, but I didn't. He didn't play well against Fulham, and you know he didn't play well.
Bro,
so don't act.
I see that amateur on the floor, mate, getting bullied. You know what was there, fam. So listen, you know what's funny? Did you see Ange Postecoglou's comments, man? He was like, he said something about, in my second season, I usually win things. And yes. I was like, I put a tweet saying, you managed Tottenham, mate.
I don't know what you lot want. I don't know what you lot want. Yeah. You lot say, oh, Spurs need to win a trophy. Spurs, there needs to be a manager like who's obsessed with winning trophies, etc. It needs to reverberate through the club. Spurs hire a manager who actually plays a style that we like and actually wants to win, and you're still taking the piss out of him.
It's just banter, man. Just banter.
No, I get that. Relax. What I'm saying is we can't win, and the only way are going to win, the only way we can win is if we win. Do you get what I'm saying? The only way
it's true. Facts. That's literally that. It's the same. It's not the same, but it's That's my problem. We have to win. That's the only way we can win. There's no chit chat that you can put out there that's going to clear your club's name unless you win a trophy. Like, it's been long enough. It's been long enough. People need to see it to believe it now at this point. And until they see it, they're just going to keep mocking it, and rightly so, because Ange has got all the best intentions. Last season, he wanted to make top 4 at the expense of, obviously, Arsenal, well, at the expense of Man City winning the league and Arsenal potentially going and getting an advantage. And we know that your fans, and I don't disagree, because you know how much I don't want Arsenal to win it, but your fans and your stadium on that home game demonstrated quite clearly that they were against their own minor, maybe, but progress in terms of Champions League qualification to obviously derail Arsenal. So he's already spoken about the mentality of your club before. But yeah, until you win something, he does look just slightly silly, because 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, more like, we know how this goes. Someone wants to do something there, but they don't get it done. So we'll see. We'll see if he can.
I respect him saying it though, because at the end of the day, it's TOBS is right in a sense where, listen, that's what we're saying in terms of Tottenham. No, we're not saying about Ange, but Ange is saying the same thing that what we're saying about they need to win something, you know. And Ange is saying the same thing. Well, I don't really see a problem with that. I think even last season, when towards the end, when the whole Arsenal thing happened and a lot of Tottenham fans were applying pressure and whatnot, and his reaction to it was like, listen, I'm here to win and stuff. You know, I'm not afraid to say it was actually, it was kind of refreshing to see that sort of manager reaction to it, instead of bowing down and because he was under pressure for it all, because a lot of Tottenham fans did want to throw the game. He said, I'm here to win. And at the end of the day, you can't, worry about these little things in the big scheme of things. So I think Ange is actually one of the, for me, and I don't like it. I hate to say it, but I think that Ange, in terms of Tottenham's last 4 or 5 managers since Pochettino, character-wise, and even if I include Pochettino, I think character-wise, they've got a good manager in charge. It's just I was shocked at how poor they was today. Overall, I expected them to come out the gate.
Second half.
First half we were good.
First half
was really good.
But the attack didn't do, like, you had chances for sure, but it's just I expected a couple goals. I expected you to be very comfy. In the end, Leicester probably should have won it with that Vardy chance.
I don't know if they should have won it, because we had opportunities as well, right? But yes, they could have. The point, I get your point. The fact that Leicester could have won it from the position we were in the first half, it shouldn't, that should never ever happen. And like you said, I have so much admiration for Ange Postecoglou. I love his character, love his press conferences. I love the style of football when we're in possession. But when we're not in possession, big man, I'm begging you, please, can we sort something out about this rest defense? Can we sort something out about the spacing in between our players? Because it's not on. Whenever the ball breaks down for Tottenham, because of how many bodies we commit forward, you just see acres of space. And even when we're not committed, it's too easy, in my opinion, for teams to find gaps through Tottenham. That's Leicester, bro. That's Leicester. What are Man City going to do to us? Right?
That's Leicester. That's one of their best players.
What are Arsenal going to do to us? So, it's just, we need to be better, man. We need to be better. And again, that's not exclusive to Ange, because players didn't turn up today. And I expect some players to turn up in the weeks to come, but they didn't turn up today. So we just got to hold that.
Madison turned up, man. Football genius turned up, though.
Madison is Madison. Madison's a quality player. He goes through his spells, but Madison is a quality player. I've not changed my stance on Madison. Yeah, his form at times can be frustrating, but he's a baller. And everyone on this platform knows he's a baller. So it is what it is with Madison. We just need to...
hearing that, man. Come on.
He is a baller. So what we doing here? He's a quality player.
Relax, bro. No one said that.
I am relaxed. I'm not shouting. I'm not doing anything.
No, but the way you're saying that, everyone here knows he's a baller.
Yeah, they do. So
what?
The only reason why I say that, is because when he drops form, there's gonna be statements, there's gonna be narratives. So I just want to make it clear, because man in here will say something a couple months down the line when he's not playing well, but when he is playing well, they'll change their tune. So that's what I'm saying.
I think it's time for him to have a consistent full season of playing well.
Yeah, I agree. But he's had that for Leicester.
Yeah, but you're not Leicester. You're Tottenham. So it
I
needs to
agree.
happen at your
And
club.
agree. That's why I said I agree. I don't want to see.
Toby, what do you think of Son?
Son was terrible today.
We had a massive debate about this yesterday.
Is the conversation coming soon, a hard one, where Son maybe he's not going to play for Tottenham anymore, but you know that you probably wipe about 100 million off the share price of Spurs if you sell him.
You know what it is with Son? You know what it is with Son? Son proved last season that he's a goal getter. Like, he's a goal getter. He bags goals. Son is a match winner for Tottenham, and he's still one of the best match winners in the Prem, even at 32. But the problem with Son is some of the other aspects of his game have deteriorated over the last couple of years. They've deteriorated, and it's very hard for him to be a consistent, like, he can't play consistently well as a winger in this setup. Like, he'll get goals, and I expect him to play better than he did today. So I ain't gonna make any overarching statements, but we know what it is with Son. The idea, in my eyes, should have been to bring in a player who could genuinely push Son to the bench, so we don't have to have the over-reliance on Son. And it's not just because of today, right? I know he's our captain, but generally speaking, we shouldn't be so heavily reliant on Son at 32 years old. And yet we are, because we didn't do enough in his area of the pitch to warrant Son, okay, sitting on the bench for a couple of minutes in a game, or sitting on the bench for this game here or there. We have to bleed him out again because we just don't have anyone on his level on the left-hand side. And that's the sad reality. So, yeah. Bring on Odegaard, though. Bring on Odegaard. That guy that we signed, a 19-year-old. I know he's a kid. I know he's not going to get goals and assists, but
from Burnley.
Please, I need him starting. I'm telling you, he will.
Oh, starting immediately.
Yes, bro. Start him. Put him on the right wing. Start him.
I think you bought. I think you bought.
Put him on the right wing.
Do you know what, TOBS? I actually think you bought very good young players. That obviously Archie Gray, the midfielder Bergwell. How would you say his name? And then Bergwell, and there's Oddball as well. So
you just said his name normally, then you just wanted to.
I actually think you bought some fantastic young talent. I think the recruitment is going in the right direction. But what you need right now was 30. So a couple of positions need certified.
6.
And this is what my argument was in terms of your attack. And I know we had this debate about Solanke. And I've had Solanke at my club, and I know he's scored goals at Bournemouth. I just don't think he's a 30 goal scorer. And especially with Werner, like if I was a Spurs fan, my hopes died when Werner came on. I don't know how you felt. Like, no, seriously, you switch off. You switch off the TV when Werner comes on. Like, for you guys, like, you're chasing the goal in a game and Werner comes on. That was my only issue. I think you bought well. I actually think you played very well. You played some wonderful football in that first half.
First half, yeah. Second half.
You really need to. Yeah, you're right. When the goal went in, kind of, you didn't know what to do for a little while. Then you came strong again. But then by then he'd made the subs, which made you look weak.
The subs were terrible, bro. Sorry,
yeah,
I'm so sorry. The Kulusevski came on and did okay. I thought if he had left Maddison on,
he looked strong.
Put Kulusevski, you finish the game strongly. You probably get a goal, but it was just all over the shop, man. Putting Werner on the right, and I get it because
he had too much time to think
injured.
What's that? Injury. It's like he had too much time to think because of the injury.
It just the subs for me just killed the momentum. And sorry, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Ange needs to stop taking off Maddison. It pisses me off so much. Like, he is our best midfielder. Stop taking him off. Honestly, in what world do you think that Spurs will have a better opportunity to win a game of football when he's not on the pitch? And then when you look at the players that he's bringing him on, we very rarely win games of football when he takes him off. What's the point? You keep him on the pitch at 1-1. You keep your best players on the pitch. Son did not leave that pitch until about 5-6 minutes before. Why? Because he's a match winner. He's one of our best players.
Anything Maddison to do with fitness in terms of, like, maybe not doing full 90s?
He's been fit. He's been fit all pre-season. Bergvall, talented young G, but he's coming on the pitch. He's getting brushed off the ball. He's losing it. It's to be expected. Like, there will be games where you can play Bergvall. We needed to win. We needed to get 3 points today. Keep Maddison on the pitch. Simple. It's dumb, and it's dumb. It invites these nonsense narratives that you see from people, and most importantly, Like it literally hamstrings the team or however you want to phrase it. Like we're at a deficit when he's not on the pitch because the guys who replace him don't have the same level of quality. It's stupid.
Let's move into the super chats now. First one from Ibby saying, "Told my brother you support Tottenham. It's clear what keeps ruining your feng shui. Clear your life of this pain, my son, and you will have peace."
Never, but he's right. Why about my feng shui? Or my he's right.
You're right, Ibby, but never.
Yeah.
DJ says Levy will make pounds. He will flip the kids, and he got Timo Bunsen Burner on loan. What team is serious about winning with Timo?
Toby, would you take Raheem Sterling?
Not for the wages, no. If he was willing to accept 150k a week, I actually would take Sterling. Yes. If he was,
I think he'd be brilliant at Tottenham. I think he would. I think he needs
I would
to
take, if not for the wages, I would take Sterling, but we can't come in and give this guy, make him our highest earner when he looks like he's on a very much downward trajectory in his career. But I would happily have him over most of the wingers that we have, happily, every day of the week. Every day of the week.
This is a question for Tobes. What do you think of that left back you guys were linked to called Noah Trophy?
This is such a dead super chat, but
Yeah,
nice try, man. Man thinks I'm my man with M&T. What was it?
M&T
Cabernet.
Oh yeah, M&T Cabernet.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah,
I like the way that guy goes like that, though. Do you want me to start? He goes, I like him. I like him.
That guy's a fraud.
Yeah, that
He's
was
a
brilliant.
Professional fraud, that guy. I like him.
Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. Good player.
If you get it over the line, it's a different story.
That guy's Dimes and Trays says it used to be singing "I love Eric Dyer" to now I hate Brennan Johnson. Send him Saudi, send him to jail. I don't care as long as he doesn't play for Spurs.
You know what? This one is kind of harsh, but like you try so hard. Like I genuinely, you know that meme when that white guy, he's literally like the veins at his neck. He's just like I try so hard not to say anything, but it just sticks out like a sore thumb. Like 75% of the games he plays for Tottenham. Like, you know, when someone is just not at the level. Like,
you didn't take Nottingham Forest's best to tackle. I said it at the time. You didn't even take Nottingham Forest's best to tackle.
I was called a fraud. I was called all sorts. Oh, you're so negative. Back the team. You're this, you're that. I was getting pelters from Spurs fans for saying he's not the worst player, but he's not good enough. He's not good enough.
No, mad signing, yeah.
But there will always be those people that every single player that comes in, you have to praise. You have to glaze. You must. You must.
Bro.
Yeah, that's the culture now, isn't it? My heart says 135 M spent, and yet Spurs look no better. Tobes, can you tell me what the transfer plan is? Because 135 M's and one starter is not making sense.
I agree slightly with the last part. Don't agree with the first part. We clearly look better. I think the squad is better. No one can tell me otherwise. Even with the young G's, the squad's better. You look at the bench. There's no Skip. There's no Sessegnon. There's no nothing. There's much better caliber of players on the bench. However, I do agree we've not signed enough starters. So it can be both.
135 million doesn't go as far as it used to, I'll be real.
Yeah.
No, he says, is Udogie Style still the best left back in the league after getting done by a championship team, Tobes?
He's one of the best, yeah. Had a poor game today, but he's one of the best. Yeah, he is.
Question again for Tobes. At what point in the season would you be Ange out? What would push you to say it? Also, what's your expectations for your dusty club?
I don't appreciate the last question or the wording of the last question. But we'll speak soon on that, brother. On the first question, it will take a lot, but most importantly, it's a lack of progression in terms of the mistakes we made from last season, not really taking trophies seriously, severe downturn in results in our league form, and just not using players correctly and signing or endorsing poor players. If a culmination of all of those things happen in the space of 12 months, that would be me with Ange.
Yeah. Yeah, my last one here on the subject from Pete saying, Mr. Beast quote, I put a Spurs fan on a football show to see how long he'll last. Next one. Actually, there
That
is no
didn't
next
bang. Didn't bang at all. But nice try.
one. Is this one
Saeed
Tottenham?
just looking in disappointment.
Bro, that was so dead. That was so dead. Bloody hell,
Actually,
man.
this one's kind of on the subject of Son, so I'm going to get it in. Anchor saying Salah, Mahrez and Son were near the same level a couple of years ago. Salah's transformation and continued world-class quality is what makes him a GOAT.
Yeah, Salah's better than Son. But
I respect it though. You know when comedians step up and they're there to tell their first joke at the comedy club. It's a big gamble you're taking. Some of you, yeah, I respect the risk that some of you guys are taking this evening, but it's you're not on form. I'll be honest. Yeah, some of you are having absolute stinkers down there.
Honestly.
Some of you,
Start of the season, they're a bit rusty.
Yeah, they're still rusty. Yeah, some of them are still rusty.
Come on,
first
man.
game of the season.
So far.
Yeah, first game of the season.
Match
yeah,
fitness, man. Match fitness.
Match fitness.
Yeah,
Yeah, not match fitness.
Yeah.
They'll October time. That's when they'll start peaking some of these guys.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. Probably be the season opener. United 1-0 against Fulham. Not the best games, but one of their new boys come on, gets the winner. That's the story there. And 3 points, Saeed.
Yeah, man. Curtain raiser, man. Everyone was there active. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people there. Good atmosphere. You know, I think the game should have been done in the first half, if I'm being honest with you. If Bruno bags them 2 goals, it's 2-0. And then we kind of keep it moving, but we made it difficult. And that's one of our issues, man. We're not clinical enough. They had a few moments, I can't lie. Adama Traore was causing a few problems. He's quick, man. He's rapid. But the second time, Lissandro did, you know what I mean, bully him. You know what I'm saying? They sent him to the gym, as he said. You know the ones there. But listen, they huffed and puffed, man. They weren't really doing much, man. Like, they had an isolated moment with Maguire and did do F-all. You know, that's a Maguire that's not rapid. You know what I'm saying? So they had poor opportunities. They had poor kind of transitional moments, but we had the better chances, the better starts, the better moments, whatever you want to call it. Not the greatest game, if I'm being honest with you, but we got the job done, man. When you have people like Garnacho who come off the bench and always make an impact, then you got a chance. And obviously, Joshua Zirkzee pounced on the cross, and it's a good finish, little toe poke, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? But it's there, innit? And I'm glad he scored his goal first of all, if I'm being honest with you, because I feel like for me, had he, you know what I mean, we're waiting around and he's still not got his first goal, it would have maybe played on him. But I'm glad he scored. Stretford end as well. You know what I mean? The first opening night is good, man. But nothing to kind of, you know, gas about. Just keep it moving because it's a big game next week. You know what I mean? Against Brighton. Or this week, should I say. So, yeah, man, just get the first win. I feel like the first game is just about getting the win. That's all it is. Not about the performance, not about this and that. Just get the win and just keep it moving. So, yeah, man, that's about it, man. You know what I mean? And, yeah, Fulham, like I said, people can say, oh, they had moments, but come on, man, they were rubbish, man. You know what I mean? They weren't that great.
They did have moments.
I was pissed with Fulham. I was pissed. Robinson on the left back position was pissing me off. Adama Traore is pissing me off. That Pereira guy, pissing me off. Just is Fulham like with the definition of mid. You know, absolute mid, like across the board, everywhere, just mid-offs all over the shop. And you know, I agree with you. Like you guys, Bruno Fernandes, I don't know if it was the 300k contract just hit him the jinx, but he could have easily scored a couple more goals. But some of the chances that Fulham could have created for themselves, they could have been walking it in. Like we're talking threes and twos on a counter where there's only one guy back. 5 minutes they had, you know. Yeah, Mazzawari was brilliant.
Adama Traore, Pereira just botched so many.
Yeah, that first 25 minutes.
I agree with Saeed. Man United on chances deserved to win that game. They could have put 2 or 3 past Fulham, but it just goes to show how open Man United still were, because that was not an enjoyable game of football for me. Don't really think Man United controlled it. I think there were some better performances from your Casemiro's, etc., etc. I agree. Garnacho came on, made an impact. Fair play to him. Same for Zirkzee. And I don't want to be too critical on Man United because it's game one, but I don't look at that performance and I'm like,
No.
that's I
No.
think there's still work to be done. Personally.
No, 100%. There was individual performances. Casemiro looked good. Bazarawi, very, very, you know what I mean, efficient performance.
He was good. Yeah.
But he was good. And yeah, listen, it wasn't the greatest, but I think for me, Fulham, you know, they did what they had to do, and then if they could have had a couple of more opportunities, but we got there in the end, man. Dillit came on, shored things up a little bit. So yeah, man, the first game, it's all about just getting the 3 points, man. And that's why I'm glad, because had we lost that game, first opening game would have been all, you know what I mean?
Even a draw. Even a
draw, yeah, exactly, bro. Because I was looking at the
they
time,
almost got out there with a draw. Yeah,
86 minutes. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? You know what I mean? What's going on? So yeah, we just had to get the job done, man. You know what I'm saying? And everyone just goes home happy, smiling. You know
that was a very Man United Ten Hag kind of game, because
bro, 100%.
The way that you got that late goal, I was just thinking, Lord heavens, bro, this is just like last season. Like, I'm watching this game, it's not great, but you just managed to just get over the line and get over to the next one. That's how you guys were in that fifth spot for quite a long time.
What's everyone's beef with Garnacho? Like, I don't get it. Like,
Garnacho off the bench. Off the bench, you have to give him
the chat's energy's a bit mad though. Like, the chat need to relax, man. Like, Garnacho did his thing. He came on the bench. He came off the bench. Impact. That's what is going to be his role this year. I hope that's his role, because for me, anything above that, I think right now in his development stage, it's going to be too much for him. I believe personally. So off the bench, he got impact, man. Certain players are not doing that. You know what I mean? So
100%.
Here's what it is.
No, it's facts. You
can't players.
You know, you can never knock. You can never knock.
Garnacho's matching more work than guys like Brennan Johnson and Timo Werner.
Yeah, I mean.
Martin
Elliott, them, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's uncomfortable conversations, but we move. And yeah. Yeah, well, they messed me, because we will have a conversation this year. You know what I'm saying?
We talk about one of those players, though. We said this in the chat. Has Marcus Rashford lost a yard of pace?
Bro, when I seen Tete outrunning him, I was like, what is the hell is going on here? Do you know what I mean? Like, he does look like he's lost a yard of pace. And that's the thing that I said the most was, I worry for him if he loses that yard of pace. Because
you know what?
You
know, it's not even pace yet. I think this
explosiveness.
I think this is a crucial junction in his career, because this is. I mean, I don't know, how old is he now?
26.
And how old was when Dele Alli stopped playing football? Basically, because Rashford's not at that level. But for the last 18 months, and I don't know, Man United fans will tell me more or less, but to me, the last 12 to 18 months, Rashford does not look interested in the game sport that is called football. And that is worrying. I used to rate Rashford. When he came through the scenes, I used to think, yo, man, he's such a Klopp player, Liverpool player. Do you know what I mean? When you do these questions, and you know, when Liverpool play Man United and everyone asks,
who would you take?
Who would you take? I say Rashford, yeah. But the last 18 months, he looks absolutely washed and not interested in the game. I think there's major concerns.
Well, he's here now for a couple of years and he's on a lot of money. So he's listen, man, you know me, I wouldn't say things for the sake of it, like, you know what I mean? And Rashford, I've been very, very hot on him in terms of, I just don't know if the motivation's there. I just don't think he's all that. And I said, once his pace goes, I don't think he has the intelligence. Some players can get away with it. Like, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Son might look this and that, but Son's got intelligence. Son could do something in it without his pace. Rashford, without his pace, is very difficult. You know what I mean? So
I think he needed a fresh start.
Well, he had a summer off.
I think he needed a fresh start. Yeah, no, I'm talking about a fresh start in regards to moving club.
Yeah.
Moving club for me. And if he's lost his pace, then Serie A is next, I'm afraid, because you got to make something out of this last part of your
career. I was thinking more Sunderland than Serie A.
Oh my days. Nah, totally the best, man. You can still play.
Shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but
like, you can still play a decent level, but just not in
definitely something's up. Definitely something's up there.
I don't know, man. But then we know what it is, though, man. I don't like this rhetoric here. That is something's up, man. Like, you know, like, why can't we just say he's just going through he's just not good at the minute, you know, just not good as a player. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like for me, it's always with Rashford, it's like, is he loving football?
It's always layers.
You know what I mean? Like, Rashford
I tell you why there's a rhetoric, and I tell you why there's conversations, because we have seen examples in recent times of footballers falling off completely. And so therefore, talented footballers, how many have we seen? and you suddenly have got 2 at your club in Sancho and Rashford. So what does that tell you about the culture of your football club and the behind the scenes? Like, there is something there. If 2 of the most brightest talents in recent times, in Rashford and Sancho, look disinterested in football, you can't say, "Oh, what's this rhetoric? What's rhetoric?" Because there is a
I don't know
rhetoric.
about Sancho not being disinterested in football, but I think in terms of
It's blatant black and white.
One's lacking maybe consistency, but I think with definitely with Rashford is that it's been a given for him to play at United. You know what I mean? So he's always been comfortable, and now it's like he still will play, and that's for me my biggest concern is that even when he's on a bad form, I think the manager will still play him, and I just think sometimes you got to let them know, like, you know, there's going to be players like Garnacho, there's going to be players coming in that are going to take his spot. So, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. That's down to the manager to let him know that, man. If you don't play well, you know, you're going to be dropped, bro. And we've now put him on his contract now where he's undroppable. You know what I mean? It's like Sterling. Sterling's coming out and saying, I should be playing here. He's got that feeling that even though Sterling's not been playing well for the past, let's say a year or so.
Our ownership actively want to get rid of him, so he won't be playing.
But there you go.
Whereas you guys, for me, in a world where those 2 have been out of sorts at Manchester United, they should be competing for the same position and pushing each other to get the best out of each other, but also to get the best out of themselves. At the start of the season, you should be saying to sitting Rashford and Sancho down and sitting them down and saying, listen, you 2, you know, your talents, you're good players, you got quality, we've seen it. However, you're not playing to the level that we expect from you. So I'm just letting you know right now, you're competing for the same position, and may the best man win. And if none of you can make it, well then fine. Alejandro Garnacho is right there, and then you can both go to the under 23s. You know what I mean?
It's a mix of. Listen, I'm the back in my day now, guy. Right? That's what I've turned into now. But okay, forget football, but general in life, like, people are different, and when I say that, men are different to what they was 30 years ago, or what they believed, or what we believed we had to live by in terms of being a man, and so on. So when English players in particular were overhyped, even them times, they was overhyped, even them times. This ain't nothing new in terms of overhyping English players, but now it's coupled up with high wages as well, because as soon as you get overhyped, it only takes 12 to 24 months before you're on 200k and then 300k. That's the common theme with a lot of these drop-offs. The common theme is they get a big contract and then the drop-off comes. That's the common theme with a lot of them. Unless with Sterling, it's like leaving a system. You can attribute it to that. But at the same time, the entitlement to come out in the game week 1 and question you not being in the squad when you've been so shit for 2 years, it's absolutely insane to do such a thing. But that's what football is. Because instead of, look at Beckham, and Beckham is probably most like this generation in terms of he would wear a dress or sarong or whatever, you know, he would do his hair, he would, you know, put dye in. He's more like this generation. But after the 98 World Cup, do you know what he had to endure to get back to? In this day and age, a lot of people would just start licking their wounds, feeling sorry for themselves, getting their agent to write statements for them on Twitter and so on. This is the generation we live in now, and that's a big part of it.
Now, facts, 100%. You know what I mean? And I think there's a lot of entitlement in this now, because, like I said to you, with Rashford, I feel like now he's kind of safe at United and he's kind of comfortable in that aspect. But, you know what I mean? I think it needs to be known, man. Like, yo, your place is not a given. And I hope that comes from the manager. But who knows, man? But he's got a big season. I did a video about him last week. I think it was last week. I said, big season for Rashford, man. Can't be doing this one week. He's not going to have
a big season, though, is he? He's fell off. So last 2 seasons have been shit. His attitude stinks. He's not made the Euros. He's not come back with a point to prove. Mr. Sitter in the Charity Shield. People still defend him. Oh, Rashford. He's a Mancunian lad. In the last 3 or 4 Manchester derbies, he's been absolutely fucking terrible. He's been walking around and strolling about. No fight there. I seen a video of him the other day. That guy who does all the autographs on the Instagram. Every single Man United player went over to the kids and signed. Rashford walked past every single kid. Just fucking went in the building. Now, he just doesn't look happy to me. Now, if you're not happy, he needs to, like you say, like Matisse says, a fresh start. But like what GRIZZ says, it looks like he's fell out of love of football for me. He looks like he's fell out of love of football. I don't understand it. He's had disciplinary problems with the manager where he's dropped him and stuff like that. But he's still playing him. But for me, it's just the wrong. He just needs to part ways. Marcus Rashford, Man United love affair is over. You can tell by the body language. And anyone that thinks he's an agenda is fucking puddled, because he ain't an agenda. The agenda's on the pitch. Look at his performances. Look at the way he behaves. That's the agenda. Man United's one of the biggest clubs in the world. You can't put in performances like that. He either fucking smashes the ball into Rose Ed, or he runs into people. Other than that, what does he offer? He don't offer a lot. You know what I mean? It's exactly the same as last season. And if Ten Hag's got the balls to go and drop Sancho and make a show out of him, why can't he do it with Rashford? Because he's scared. Because of the agenda. It's all bollocks.
It's turned into the age-old question now, because this is not the first time we're talking of Rashford like this. You know, even to get that contract, it was, you know, 8 months before that new contract. A lot of fans wanted him out. It's just that spurt of form, that 4 months, that really turned, because, you know, fickle, flip-flop, and so on.
People can slag Garnacho, but I tell you what, Garnacho, when he comes on that pitch, gives 110% every time. He loves the shirt. He runs his bollocks off. He fights like fuck, and he wants to have a go, and he gets into people and all that. I don't mind that. I would rather Man United play us with Marcus Rashford in the team than Garnacho in the team. And that's because I know Garnacho's turning up and thinking, I'm having it today. And he's lively, and he wants to play for Man United. Rashford, after 5 minutes, if it ain't going his way or somebody gets into him early doors, he's walking around. You've seen the clips of him in the City knocking the ball around him in triangles, and he's not even chasing it. And for a Mancunian lad in a Manchester derby, shit like that doesn't wash. It don't wash on the blue side because we won't have it. But on the red side, they seem to just tolerate it because it's Rashford. But, you know, I'd cash in, get rid of him, new start, and fucking bring somebody else through.
Let me get into the super chats now. We're an hour 36 in. Hit the like button, people. I'm going to check how much we're on real soon. DJ says, Saeed, how long before you are cried because that manager's making subs in 90, replacing the back with De Ligt and Evans? Do you do drugged, Tess?
Listen, let's see, man, innit? Let's see what happens in Brighton. That's all I'm going to say. We've one game at a time, innit? That's like Camsy is saying,
innit? Let me move to Elkin says Rashford could have had 2 assists in that game. What are we doing here? This agenda hate is crazy.
Oh, get over it.
It's people like him, Elkin, that's fucking the reason why. It's because no agenda. Your agenda, you watch for your fucking eyes. He's shit, and he don't want to play for United, and he's got no fucking place being there anymore. Sometimes a player has got to move on. Do you know what I mean? Time to cut your losses, move it on, bring someone else in. That's why.
Yeah, but bro, we're in it.
Baffles me.
We're in an era where people are very obsessed with making comps. People will pluck out 5 minutes where someone creates 2 big chances from 2 repetitive actions. Maybe they create a chance with a cross, and then they take the corner and they create it. That's 2 big chances, Grizz. That's 2 big chances in 90 minutes. What the fuck are you complaining for? You know, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. It's mad.
One of them being the Garnacho one, the cutback.
Yeah, the one late.
But I don't look at that as a potential assist. I look at that as it wasn't a great pass. And number one, you got the contract because you're the bagsman at that time. You got that. So when that goes wrong, unless the pass is perfect, because the pass wasn't perfect in my opinion.
He shit himself.
I'm looking at you and thinking, bury that. Like we don't pay 350k. Like people just think I do this for Havertz or Ozil or whatever. Every club, if you're paid 300k as an attacker, I beg you bury it. You're one-on-one.
You think Haaland, Salah? You think they're squaring in that situation? Like
if he doesn't square it. If he doesn't square, everyone's like, "Oh, he's so greedy. He's so greedy."
Fuck all. Who cares? You know, people.
That's why you got to score.
Greats have been labeled greedy. Like it's part. Like if you're a bagsman and you bag, who cares if people call you greedy? Like, look how much Cristiano was called greedy over the years. Who gives a shit? Like a lot of legends.
Where do you think you're going to finish this season, United? Where do you think you're going to finish?
I think we're going to finish 3rd.
Off.
I don't see an awful lot. I don't see anything that's changed me. I look
now
at
this first game of the season, man. Let's see what we can get in
Do you know what's going to be a problem? You know what's going to be a problem for you this season? You know what's going to be a problem for Man United this season?
Yeah, go on.
Ruud van Nistelrooy. Do you know why I'm
Forget
calling
Ruud van
that?
Nistelrooy. I don't like
Do you know why I'm
this.
calling that? No, do you know why I'm calling that? Because every time Ten Hag,
I know.
bad game, that the Red Army in that corner are going to be singing Ruud.
You see what he said? You see what he said? You see what he did?
Right, now listen to me. And all the cameras are going to be panning on Ruud van Nistelrooy. There's a big Dutch legend shadow hanging over Ten Hag's shoulder now called Ruud van Nistelrooy. And I'm telling you now, if you go through a bad patch, that Stretford end will be crying out for Ruud van Nistelrooy. It's the worst appointment Man United could have done. And he already thinks he's the manager anyway. He's clapping the Red Army. He's going on
No. I guess what he done. The thing is, though,
bullshit. Assistant manager needs to get his head down and go down the tunnel, mate. Don't be clapping the Red Army.
No, what he did, though, Steve, he actually said, "Don't clap me, clap Ten Hag."
But why is the assistant manager telling the fans, "Don't clap me, clap the manager"? That's just an instant laugh.
I don't know.
That's an
I don't know, man. I don't know.
The fans respect. That's like Pep's assistant, Juan Lilo, going up to City going, "No clap me, no clap me, clap Pep. No clap me, clap Pep." Fucking hell, you'd be embarrassed to fuck. I'm telling you now. Van Nistelrooy appointment is a bad move, man. It's a bad move.
Not a bad move.
I'm here for it, man. I'm here for the vibes, man.
Steve,
right.
Saeed knows. But Steve, do you not think Saeed? Sorry, Grizz, go on. Sorry.
I called it a cowardly move, Steve, from the board and the ownership. It was an absolute cowardly move, and I've called it earlier as well that he's the new. I told Saeed straight away.
Is it a cowardly move though? Because if you're hold on, this is why I disagree. Because if you're unsure on the manager and you don't want to sack him, and maybe the manager market is not what it needs to be. But we need to discuss the manager, the quality of the manager market, because who can you say that had to come in at Manchester United? Because I said
Van Nistelrooy.
No. But I said Ten Hag needs to be sacked, 100%. In my opinion, last season, what he put out, he should have been sacked. However, when you're getting links to McKenna, you're getting links to Maresca, and we know that these guys are getting fast tracked. There's nothing you can sit there and say that Van Nistelrooy is ready to take the job at Manchester United.
100%.
They've just slowly tried to integrate him, right? They've signed players that potentially are for him, but they're slowly integrating him, letting him sit on the sidelines and learn and see if he needs to learn from him or he's better than him or whatever. And then if they have to make that call, then they can just move him up. For me, that makes a lot more sense than
it's a backdoor
just taking like a big gamble. You know what I mean?
I disagree. I think it's an absolute cowardly move.
I think it's bullshit.
It's indicative. It's indicative of the moves that they're making. They've started making good moves. Absolutely. I think that again, they're another club that's
also Ruud wanted his job as well. Ruud rejected Burnley.
Yeah, 100%.
He could easily went to Burnley.
I don't know where
I think Ruud knows exactly where this is going.
It's Ruud as well. It's not only United. It's Ruud as well.
Ruud knows exactly.
Listen, when I went to PSV the other season, then they got in the Champions League. Nistelrooy was the manager, and I said to the boys at PSV, he's done well, good job. And he said, "No, I leave at the end of the season." I went, "He's just got you in the Champions League." He went, "Yeah, he's okay, good coach, not a manager. He's not good enough." He won 2 cups. There, I think, got him in the Champions League. The season he left, PSV won the league. And PSV's a legend, but the PSV boys said he's a good coach, not a manager. So it's all right in turning down Burnley if he's been promised, listen, if it goes tits up with Ten Hag, you're in the job. I just believe that appointing him doesn't do, he's got a bit too much. Remember Moyes? Moyes was the manager, but Fergie was hanging over him like a fucking cloud, and Ryan Giggs was knocking about and all that. Don't forget, Ruud van Nistelrooy's Fergie's man. So when it shits in the dressing room, who do you think he's phoning at night? He ain't phoning Ten Hag to talk about today's game. He's phoning Alex, mate. I'm telling you now. And that's the same thing that happened before will happen again.
But Steve, do you believe Ten Hag is good enough to take Manchester United back to where they belong?
No.
So then if you don't, if he's on borrowed time anyway,
he's better than Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Oh, see, I don't know that. See, this is why I'm gonna.
You never know. You never know, man.
Because I don't know. I don't know the credentials of Van Nistelrooy. I don't know if he's the next Arteta or he's the next. I don't know what he's. I don't know. But I'm just saying, if you don't believe that Ten Hag is gonna be the guy that takes Manchester United back up to where they belong, then having some sort of not backup plan, but having some sort of plan, contingency strategy makes sense to me. Because I agree. I don't believe he's the guy to take them back right up there anyway. So
can I just say what they have done though is that they've removed all excuses now. You know what I mean? You've got a new backroom staff. You know what I mean? I keep telling you, lot, Rennie Hack, Van Nistelrooy, all of these guys have come in through the door. You know what I mean? I keep saying it. They've got a new what's it called? Set piece coach from Southampton, one of the best in the country. They've got a new structure. They're getting all of his players from Ajax, by the way. Oh, can you see it? We've got a Ajax reunion coming on. You know, so everything is all the excuses are removed. You're gonna go and get your players that you wanted this summer. Now it's time to deliver. So I think the main thing is the most back manager since Fergie, guys. You know, he spent money. So now you deliver. So that's why this is a big season. So all of that Van Nistelrooy, for me, it's just, you know, it's backroom noise. You know what I mean? Like, it's you know, I'm not really kind of like hearing that. My thing is, Ten Hag, you must deliver. Third trophy.
Do you think he's going to deliver with that? All them Ajax rejects that he's buying.
They're not rejects. They're not rejects. Please carefully.
Hold on a minute. Eric Dyer left.
Oh, here we go. Eric Dyer.
Mazarazu started 11 games last year. For
Bro, he started in the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
Wan-Bissaka's better than him. Wan-Bissaka's better than him.
He's not.
Nah, he's not.
No, he is.
You think he's better than him?
Trust me.
He's not a better footballer than him. He's not a better footballer than him. Let's be honest, Mazarazu defensively, we saw in the World Cup. I mean, that whole Morocco team was fantastic defensively. He was brilliant. He was brilliant over the weekend, Mazarazu. He was brilliant.
Man. You know what I'm saying?
He played. I thought he was Manchester United as one of their best players.
Yeah. Dyer was selected because Tuchel believed in Dyer. That's the only reason why he wanted Trippier by Munich. They wanted to bring in Trippier. Didn't happen.
Tuchel's talent ID. We 100%.
Yeah, man. So I think that was because of Tuchel. But listen, let's see, man. Now he's been given everything that he needs. He must deliver now, man. And that's all I care about right now. But Mr. Roy, this, that, Fulham, I'm not really bothered. Just for me, deliver. That's it.
Next up, Gareth says it's all about money. United dug a hole by consistently giving fat contracts to over-the-hill players and underperforming talent for years. United are a toxic stinkhole. I fear for Mainu.
Why do you fear for Mainu?
You know, in that climate, in that culture.
Because it's a shithole, isn't it?
I think Mainu would suit. Mainu would suit Arsenal.
What did you say? What did you say?
Let
me hear what you said. What did he say?
What he said?
No, I'm just saying, he would shoot him.
No, I just said we win trophies in that shithole. You know what I mean?
Say no more. Let me see Manu at your club in 2 years. Say no more. Nahum says the problem with Rashford is that he thinks he's prime Ronaldo with dribbling when instead he should play like Vardy. He ain't Vardy.
I get what you're trying to say there.
It's right.
Just use your strengths in it, like utilize your strengths more. You know, but
Sean says I don't get the Ten Hag hate. He had one horrendous season with a ton of injuries, a good season before that, and 5 really good seasons with Ajax before that. Also, the shit show behind the scenes context. Well, fair. We'll see the season. Not that one there. That one's no. Rashi worries me. Full preseason and no injuries yet. Saka with no preseason and Euros looks sharper. Our midfield still too easy to go through. We still need a CM with the hopes of a
midfield is still a problem. Big problem. I don't really get what's wrong with Man United, honestly.
No, we're gonna get Ugarte in and then maybe one more midfielder, but we'll see.
Ugarte, is that enough?
No, it's not enough. Not enough at all. I wanted to, but let's see.
But you're keeping McTominay, so that's enough.
Bro, burn that
and Mason Mount, sorry, what one for him? Because
I'm being told it's a pressing machine. So
man's just running around.
Broski, man.
Just running around. Running.
Good plan.
Good plan. Let's keep it moving. That's the last one on that.
Yeah, that's not my business. I've had good times. I've had good times with him.
You felt
we've had great memories. We've had great memories. From what I remember of him, good player.
We've got a buzzer beater on the United subject. I sense this potential rude appointment is slightly scaring Steve. He sounds concerned. United are scary.
Love United.
You lot troll too much, man. You think Steve,
Oh,
after
love
4
United,
titles in a
man.
row, is
Fucking
scared
hell,
of
yeah.
whatever you're cooking at Man United? You man have lost your
mate.
minds. You man have actually
Well,
lost your
let's
minds.
stay low key. Love United. Let's stay low key.
They can't stay.
man.
You and Arsenal, and to be honest, we as well. We can't stay low key, man. Can't stay low key.
No, but Matisse, how's the man that brings out a flag and dances when they sign an 18-year-old saying like you can't put us
I don't say we're scaring a Man City team.
You said Euro is better than Saliba. That's what you
that's
said.
fair.
So, yeah.
You're not
but we
far
can
off
speak though. We can speak Arsenal, but Man City.
Saliba, watch out.
You have to know your role, man.
Absolutely,
watch out.
I'm absolutely frightened to death for Ruud van Nistelrooy becoming United manager. Shitting myself. I don't know how I'm going to sleep at night, to be honest. And after seeing Tom Huddlestone score on his debut, this really has made me fucking scared. I'll be honest.
Calling Zexy Huddleston is actually hilarious.
Nah, listen, as long as I'm on the show, he's known as Tom. Yeah? Dutch Tom.
Tom Huddleston was a decent little player, bro.
He's not. Again, he's not. He's not.
I said Tom Huddleston was a decent. I wasn't even talking about Zexy. I said Tom Huddleston was a decent little player. On Zexy,
he wasn't evil. He wasn't evil. So
Tom Huddleston was. He had a cracking long range in him. Nice little long pass.
We need to give him time. We don't know if Zexy's a good or bad player. We need to give him time.
Listen, he's known as Dutch Tom to me. Dutch Tom.
Dutch Tom.
You have to earn that respect.
He's called Joshua Zirkzee. It's not as if he's called some mad name.
This is giving me early. Remember Steve's first stint when it was the whole Donny van der Beek and Gundogan thing. Do you remember that? And Steve held his guns from early. I can't lie with the Van der Beek.
I told him from early doors. People on this panel, mentioning no names, said that Donny van der Beek was a baller and he was better than Ilkay Gundogan. And I told you the guy was not getting off the bench. Now he's at Girona.
I didn't know. At the time, Donny van der Beek, when he was at Ajax, was cold. Yeah, like let's not. We can't say like I didn't know. United ruined him.
Use your brain. Use your fucking brain.
Donny van der Beek. Donny van der Beek. Ajax was cold, fam.
He wasn't cold because he fucking didn't do anything.
And also, Gundogan when he came in, he didn't set a light though. He actually started to build his career up. Like
Gundogan won the treble, mate.
No, but I get it, but that's Gundogan when he got into Man City. He didn't start great at Man City. Let's not do this.
He was in Champions League finals for Dortmund, man.
Yeah, but I get that. But I'm just saying, and man, semi-final. Dude, look at man like Donny van der Beek in the semi-final, playing against Real Madrid, Juventus, balling out, man. Come on, man.
Look at him now. He's at Girona, mate, for 500k.
Yeah, no, it's a sad career.
500k is so disrespectful. Do you know 500k is money get passed around in League One, sorry, not League On.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
United
it's crazy.
Get too gassed, man. Get too gassed about everything all the time. A star is born. We'll see. We'll see when he's at Den Haag in 2 years. We'll see.
Den Haag.
These Man City fans go like they haven't got any flops, you know. They've had loads of flops, you know. They don't talk about. You know what they do? They spend more money. They just spend more money. I know your flops, you know. You know your flops,
they come true.
You've had a lot of
my
flops.
predictions come true. I tell you certain things and it happens. You know that, yeah? I told you Mikel Arteta 3-4 years ago was a good manager, and the Arsenal fans ripped me apart. You wouldn't have him, Steve.
And what's he done?
You know what I mean? What's he done? Well, he's done a lot more than what's happening now. He's thereabouts. He's challenging for the title. You finished 8th.
He's an early man. For me, right now, he's an early man. He needs to produce.
Yeah, but he's a good coach. I said he's a good coach
and all of that.
You can't call a man 4 years into his management.
4 or 5 years with a trophy. You know what I mean? Like
he's 4 years into his career as a manager.
He's won the FA Cup.
With every squad.
No. I get it. He hasn't been successful apart from the FA Cup, but you can't call a man in his first 5 years of any job a nearly man.
But would you accept what I said 3-4 years ago? He's a good coach. Are you going to accept it?
Nobody said he's not a bad. Who said he's bad coach? No one's ever come in and said
hold on. 3 or 4 years ago, he was known as the cone man on here. The cone man. Everyone was saying he's Pep's cone man. I said he wasn't. I said he's.
I think you might have said that.
No, I backed him. This is all I'm saying is. All I'm saying is. You know, the Ten Hag thing is the same. United are exactly the same. No one's asked about Nistelrooy, but he'll get the job back to square one. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Be careful. And Xerxes, Dutch Tom, yeah, Den Haag, 2 years.
2 years, we'll be here. Next up, well, we'll move into the next two, which is comfortable 2-0 wins for both Arsenal and Liverpool. Alfie here says, guys, what are we talking about? Arteta finished 8th twice and won only 1 trophy till now, and you're all blowing smoke up his behind. What's he referencing here? All blowing smoke. Right, no, Alfie just flipped.
I think he's just saying we're just doing too much with Arteta.
I
somewhat agree as well. There's a lot.
Have I missed something though? What have you man said about Arteta?
Nothing.
So you said nothing, and then told us that I feel like we're doing too much about it. What's everyone said?
It's just
no. You man, I hate it.
I actually have nothing to say.
We're doing too much. What you done? Nothing. Yeah. Let's start with Arsenal then. 2-0 win. This one's on Arsenal as well from Munir saying, big up from Bosnia. Steve, happy to see you back. Arsenal did not win the league in 20 years. Are they under the biggest pressure to deliver? Everyone's under pressure, son. But yeah, 2-0 Wolves. Nice start. I mean, not the perfect start, but nice start. Clean sheet, couple goals. Perfect start for Havertz, though. I can't even lie, because all the talk about striker, the need of it. Listen, my mind ain't changed. I still think we need someone in the forward line, but you know, the person who starts as your 9, if he gets a goal and an assist, I'm not even gonna dwell on the assist too much. It was just a simple pass. Saka did all the work, but that first goal was big, because we wasn't creating much open play chances, but especially that first half, we had to make it count, and Havertz was the man behind that. So, in terms of his start to the season, perfect from Havertz. Saka, perfect. Feel like he could have been involved in the play some more, but when you consider he came back late from the Euros and the late holiday, and he's not as sharp as we would like. He's only played took part in 1 game before this Wolves one. He was on fire as well. 1 goal, 1 assist. His goal was cold though. His goal was cold.
Yeah,
because you start, if he starts adding that to it this season, then the hope that, remember last season when I said I hope that either Saka or Martinelli get 20 goals this year. If Saka adds that to his ammunition now, that sort of a finish where it's not just the bend round the defender into the far post, he can go near to, then that target of 20 goals for him, it could happen if he keeps the same vein of trajectory up. Aside from that, all round, I think it was a good game. I mean, no one was poor. Partey second half faded a hell of a lot. In general, I think we faded. Wolves got back into the game, but Saka killed him off just as they really started testing the waters in the box. So once that second goal went in, I knew we was clear with the 3 points. It would have been nice to add a third, considering I went 3-0, but 2-0 it is. There's bigger tests to take coming up in the next 4 fixtures. So that's all we had to get done. I don't think.
I think I got that score prediction right.
Same.
Yeah, you did. A few people did. You did. Wait, 1 second.
I got it right.
Yeah, I did.
SAEED, TOBS, and Matisse. All 3 of you got that one. Big up Raya as well, though. Raya made a great save in the.
That was a brilliant save. I can't lie.
For me, best save he's made in an Arsenal shirt, because it's actually points saved. I struggled to look at games last season where I said Raya's won us those points. But I think that save, when you see where it came at 1-0 and how tight it was for a lot of that game, that wasn't the usual Arsenal from last season dominating 60-70% of the ball. It was a lot tighter than I would have expected even there. Forget the chance creation. But yeah, all in happy, man. I mean, how are you lot viewing it? Steve, obviously, we were expected to be your closest challengers. Some are putting us as favourites. What did you make of us?
Yeah, I thought it was job done. I think Arsenal, looking at Arsenal's squad, I think they are a title-winning squad, but I do believe you need a striker. I said it on the overlap. I just feel like you're lacking that striker position. I look at the goalkeeper, the back 4, the midfield. Don't really see a problem. Look at the wide areas. Yeah, maybe somebody to put pressure on Saka a little bit if he needs it. But other than that, I think I can see that team winning the league. Look how close they've gone. But I just feel like in games, there's going to be times where you're under the cosh. Like with City, you can see City doing nothing. and Haaland doing nothing, and then he gets one chance, bang, it's in. And I feel like that's what Arsenal need. And a lot of people talking about Ivan Toney and stuff like that. I mean, apparently he's on the verge of going to Saudi. And it's like, why is nobody taking a gamble on Toney? You know what I mean? He's Prem proven. He's an England international. I think him at Arsenal definitely be a good signing. Gabriel Jesus for me as well. You know, he's not a 20-goal a season guy. He does chip in with goals. I feel like last season he was unlucky with injuries and stuff. So I do believe he's more than... He got 4 last year, I think. He's definitely got 10, 12 in him, I think. But I just think they need a striker. I think if Arsenal get a striker, then, yeah, it's game on then. But I just feel if they keep with this current setup now, I think... I'm not worried about it. I feel like you'll run us close, but I feel like when it gets to the end again, we'll just go over the line.
Grizz, while Steve was talking there, this is the first time I've checked. I might be wrong here because I've rushed it a little bit, but I'm looking at your arrivals in the 1920 season. I'm hoping I'm in the right area. Do you remember who you brought in before that title-winning season?
No one.
No one, innit? I'm looking at it. Was it Minamino, Vandenberg? It says here.
We brought in Adrian and
Adrian, yeah.
And, Vandenberg. Yeah, we done a madness.
And I'm not before people say, "Oh, you're correlating it to it should be Arsenal and whatnot." I just found that interesting. I thought, let me see.
No, I've said it. There is similar patterns in the way you're going about it. Klopp at the time felt that he wants to work with this squad and improve them from the season before. So we had just we just won the Champions League, and he didn't want to upset that squad, disrupt that squad. So he said, "No, I can win the league with this squad." And obviously he blitzed the league that season. So I see what Arteta, if this is the decision that he's making or made, although it's a bit different because I think you are going to bring in a midfielder. So it's not you've already brought Calafiori in, and I think you're going to bring in another midfielder as well. So it's similar, but I agree. I think I agree with Steve. Sorry, I think we've discussed it as well before. I think you're like a proper.
I'm going to tell you the truth. Yeah, the only team that scared me to death, and I'll say it now, was Liverpool with Mane and Salah. That was the team I got when I was there, thinking, "Fuck. These are fucking too good, man," because that strike force was too good. The rest of the team had its flaws, but that front three at the time was too good. And Pep had nightmares about it. We had nightmares about it. You was capable of going in the game with him and knocking the ball about like City did for 30 minutes and thinking, we're comfortable here. And within 10 minutes, you're 3 down. Your game's gone. You're fucked. They're getting you, and then you've got to chase the game. So you coming out, you're leaving big gaps everywhere. You're dead. And with Arsenal, I feel like when I spoke about last season about the mentality of the City going to the Etihad, I hope now people understand what I was trying to say. Paul Scholes on the overlap said the same thing, and it wasn't a dig at anyone, because I get why people would say, "Oh, we didn't lose it at the Etihad, we lost it at Villa." Okay, I get that, but what I was trying to say is, imagine the psychological and the damage you would have done to Manchester City, the fans and the players, if you'd have come to the Etihad, won at the Etihad. The players would have thought, that's it, title's over, we're well behind. You could have gone at home to Villa and slipped up. You'd have still been at the top. That's where the difference, I believe, in Arsenal. And I feel like, looking at your team now, I feel like, yeah, you could win the league. You're good enough to win the league. But you know now that I ain't talking bollocks. That last 10 games is a game changer. The league just gets flipped on its head. You get little teams beating everybody and come into your ground and you think, oh, we'll beat Southampton today, and you get beat 3-1, or Brighton's coming at week, and then you struggle, and that's what happens. And I feel like you've got to shake Manchester City off before that last 10. Liverpool shook City off a long time ago, blitzed the league. I feel like Arsenal have to shake Man City off early, and any opportunity to beat Man City and put a marker down, you can do it. Liverpool used to beat us all the time, but we were that consistent. We'd keep on the tails and chase them. I just feel like Arsenal's been so consistent, but when it's come to them big moments at the Etihad, they've left the door open for City, and then City's gone in and won the league. So I feel with a striker, someone that can finish better than Jesus and Havertz, I feel like it takes you up that next level.
Apologies, Arsenal fans, because we do have to keep it moving. I know you'd like us to talk more, but we're already past 2 hours and it's nearly coming up to 1 a.m. here in the UK. I want to touch in on Liverpool 2-0 away to Ipswich. GRIZZ, good result, clean sheet. And yeah, can't really complain. Jota on the score sheet, so your bet's looking good.
Yeah, look, 12:30 kickoff. They try to play. They try to give us another 12 kickoff. I actually went, and first time I've been Portman Road, cracking atmosphere, even for a 12:30. Nice place, man. Good fish and chips, man. Nice fish and chips there.
I'm going there on Thursday to film a preview. Weird as fuck, but I'm going to Ipswich to film a preview for Man City, even though we're playing Ipswich at home. But I've got to go to Ipswich. How's that work? 5 hours, mate. 5 hours on Thursday.
Yeah, it's a bit of a trick. It's a bit of a trick. But yeah, look, the game went exactly how I thought it would go. People saying, "Oh, it's Ipswich and this and that." Again, just like I was saying about for all our clubs, certain players that were at Euros and South America, the Copa America, came back only 10 days ago, 12 days ago, and he surprisingly picked them. So he brought back all the big dogs. I thought he was going to play a lot of the squad players like Elliott, Jones, and Tsimikas, but he brought back Robertson and the like. And it was funny because they were the ones that started off slow. I thought Alisson, Virgil, Robbo struggled for a little bit in the first half. We know promoted teams, biggest game of their bloody lives, 20 years, massive game for them. They were up for it, pressing us, energy everywhere. But I was calm. I said, if they carry on this in the second half, then they need testing, bro. Every single one of them. Not one random test. All of them need testing. And so it turned out, second half, we just stepped up and yeah, look, it was comfortable, very comfortable. The score flattered them in the end. It should have been 5-6, comfortable, and just a couple of standouts, like this player. I was gonna call him this a kid, but I knew you were gonna jump on my neck. This lad, Trent Alexander-Arnold, man, and people talk about his deficiencies and this and that, and he can't do this. He looked very quick, very lean, and he was tracking back. So many times he was like last man back. But this guy on the ball, like we've become to normalize it, his ability on the ball. He took that game by the scruff of the neck in that 20 to 30 minutes after the second half, and from right back changed the whole dynamic of the game. His passing is ridiculous. His crossing, his passing, his breaking of the lines. I thought it was sensational for that 20, 30-minute spell. And then he ran out of steam because he's only just got back. So he took him off. And Gravenberch, so much noise about DM, we ain't bought a DM. And I absolutely agree. We do need a number 6. I'm not suddenly sitting here and saying Gravenberch is the answer to all our problems before people say, oh, he switched. No. But Gravenberch was nice. He was proper techie, comfortable on the ball. You know what I mean? And he was good. He was very, very good. Yeah, Kwanzaa had a very rough game. He's a young lad. He's going to have a rough game. But Konate came in where people doubted Konate, and Konate bullied the guy that bullied Kwanzaa. So I think very comfortable start, very nice. And the way he changed the tactics, it was all about pass. But then he realized they're playing man-on-man, pressing us. And he said, I told them, stop playing these shitty little passes, play it to the danger men. And I'm going to finally end with the man, the myth, the legend. I don't know, it's not a myth anymore. It's actually a legend. He's a true icon of the game, man. That's Mohamed Salah. Like, how many people said, yeah, okay, this is the season that, yeah, he's finished. But this guy, 9 seasons in a row? Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer in my eyes, and no one can change that. That's about it.
9 consecutive.
300 goals and assists in
he's a machine. He's a machine.
That's crazy.
Machine.
That's actually
I can't lie.
Someone said on the watch along, 21 minutes faster than Henry. Was it?
Yeah.
Mad.
It's mad. And from right wing, I don't care what anyone says. Don't call him a striker. He's he plays right wing again. All his goals again, that assist again, that goal from the right wing. So it's insane levels of consistency, fitness. Like his fitness levels, man. He looked like the youngest man on the pitch, man. Preseason, no preseason. He looked light. He looked quick again. You know, And his playmaking ability, I told you last season, his playmaking ability is going to come to the fore. Ever since brother Matisse questioned his playmaking ability, his brothers said, yeah, all right, Matisse, I'm going to show you. His Trevellas, his weight of pass, his team play. He's become a more all-rounded player since lack of pace. You know, since that, obviously he's naturally going to lose that pace one-on-one. He hasn't got that anymore. But he's become an all-rounder.
Oh, 8 hours slower. So that was a fake stat. Sorry about that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what he has to do, man, because we all remember the era of, I think Big Steve was mentioning earlier, Firmino dropping in that false 9, Salah and Mane running off of him. Obviously, they all assisted each other. It was a frightening front three, but Salah was enjoying, you know, the goal scoring side of it. And when you're playing with Jota and you're playing with Nunes and even Diaz, who we spoke about the final third delivery, you've got to take that burden on your shoulders, because we know Liverpool have not ever gone for that traditional 10, that more traditional playmaker type player. So yeah, listen, for me, the guy is going down in history. Like, this is a player that you'll speak about in 20, 30 years time. You have to. You can't skip this guy, because I'm more impressed with anything is that when players are able to keep peak fitness along with the performance, that's when I'm very impressed. Like, year in, year out, this guy doesn't get injured. He doesn't miss games. And that's how you put up real stats. Like, these stats don't come if you're carrying little knocks and niggles. And this guy, just fitness wise, you can see the way he trains, man. He's not playing about. So yeah, man, it's very impressive. It's very impressive, I have to say. Very, very impressive. Like, to go again, start of the season and just put down a marker. It's
Legend,
serious.
Man.
Yeah, serious shit.
Yeah, he's an all-timer.
Sure.
He's an all-timer.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Again, considering time, I'm going to get these last 3 super chats in, bring up the prediction table, and then we're going to wrap the show up. Alfie still flipping, said, you, Matisse, God don't like ugly. Enzo basically disrespected the black community. You guys brought him back and gave him the captaincy over Cole Palmer. Feels like the club doubling down on Enzo's crap. Chelsea, the ego factory. But what's that got to do with Matisse?
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with me. And I don't know why Cole Palmer gets mentioned for captaincy, because he's not a captain. So I've said before, like, just because you're the best player, you had again, let's let him have 2 seasons first. Let's let him do this consecutively, because that's important. But just because you've been one of the best players doesn't mean you take the armband. That's literally not what captaincy, in my opinion, is about. You've got to actually have leadership qualities to you. And I'm very rarely ever wanting an attacker to be a captain, to be honest. For me, captain is central midfield or centre backs. Those are the positions that I look for. Defense, those are the positions I look for captaincy. So, but yeah, listen, I don't like the decision. I've spoken about it so many times now. I'm becoming bored of it, because it's not something that's under my control. Same way as never under anyone's control when players of their clubs act a fool. And we've had it multiple times across the Premier League for last God knows how long. You just have to, unfortunately, just watch the game and back the player when they're on the pitch to win you matches. But you don't have to like these people. I keep telling people, you don't need to look up to footballers. You don't need to idolize them. You don't need to paint them to be some picture in your head that they're, you know, some sort of glorified holy grail, you know. No, these people, there's lots of people in this industry, you know, in football that we don't like. And that's just what it is. Same with any industry. So listen, let's just hope he's good for him. He just needs to perform, because he's captain now until Reece James is back, and he just needs to put in the performances, because it's the second full season. We can't keep saying, oh, he needs to be in this zone or this area or this. Your first touch needs to be on point. Your pass needs to be on point. These are basics. You need to just play better. Simple.
Next up, again, Masood says, Matisse, how long are you keeping this United agenda this season? I see you pre-ing everything United. You still hurt because we sent you into the conference hold.
Listen, you did, and it pissed me off, because I was looking forward to Europa League. I'll be honest, I was looking forward to the music. It's a competition that we've won a couple of times. We do very well when we go in there. And you sent me packing to Estonia and all sorts. So yeah, I have a little bit of resentment. I hope as the season goes on, we will build our relationship back as mud brothers, and we won't be at each other's.
Nah, man, you do your thing, man. This year, man, I can't lie.
You see, look, now this is the problem. You guys always want to distance yourself. Yeah, man,
listen.
I don't like this trend. Every time I try to welcome you with open arms and say we're mud brothers, you guys try to tell me no. You guys just stay there. And
we're good round here, man.
You tried to pat me on top of the head. You tried to do that. And then last season, you finished below us, and obviously, unfortunately, Man City turned up drunk to an FA Cup final. But it's fine. It's no problem.
We're good around there. We're good around there.
You're not good. That's the problem. You're not good.
Zimbala says Shark Tank, Crocodile Dundee. Grizz, I think the community want to see you jump into the Shark Tank. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Let me bring up the prediction table after game week 1. There was everyone bar me got a correct score, so that's how it's looking.
Oh man,
for the audio,
beautiful.
And I will be uploading these to
that's good, man. Again. Let's start.
Grizz got the 1-1. He was the only one to predict anything but a Tottenham win. He predicted 1-1. So that. Yeah,
I always start strong and then just end up in the mud.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he did. Audio listeners, Matisse top 2 correct scores, 6 points. Grizz also 6 points, but 1 correct score. Steve's got 6 points, 1 correct score. Saeed and Toes both on 5 with 1 correct score, and I've got 4 points with no correct scores. On that note, I think it's time to say love for Matisse, Thursday, Servette.
Yeah, we play Serviette.
Broski, I'm not about to talk about no Serviette at 1 a.m. man. Don't worry about it, man. They'll preview that.
I don't know what time the game is. I'll let you know. Every game gets the same attention. We respect all clubs. The football pyramid needs to be respected. No. The football pyramid needs to be respected. We have Big Steve will tell you about the olden days away and how they struggled for
actually called Servette.
We're not going to disrespect any football clubs. All football clubs are communities of their local area.
We respect all communities. Are you going to clean up?
I am going to do half an hour. I am going to do a 30-minute. I'm going to do a 30-minute review again for the game against Serviette, as I always would do. Please respect all clubs. Communities are key. We respect all the Serviette fans. I look forward to speaking to you for the preview.
You must do a watch along.
Yeah, if you can.
I'm doing a watch along, of course. It's Chelsea I'm playing. I do watch alongs for friendlies.
Is there Wi-Fi?
We will be there. Oh shit! That means our Thursday show is after that game. Are you doing a match reaction to that game as well?
Of course, I must react. My team are playing.
So we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait extra 30 minutes. For
remember last year we said to Grizz though, like them
and Grizz still did them. Did he not? He
went overtime as well.
He still chat patty.
Man, I didn't do
overtime. Shit. No, listen.
When he lost to Atlanta.
You know what it is, yeah. You know what it is. We are the big six, and we have big problems. We are the big six. We have big problems, and we talk about winning trophies and high standards. But at the end of the day, if my team was to be relegated, I would still cover every game, and I'll still watch every game, still do match reactions, still do watch along. So we have to be consistent. I don't care. I don't care who we're playing. I don't care if we're playing Oldham in League One. I don't care if we're playing Lewisham Youth. I'm watching the game and I'm reviewing the team because that's what we do. Yeah. So if you want to disrespect the set and start without me, it's no problem. It's no problem. But I'm reviewing my game. I'm committed to the cause. We're Conference League. We need to win the trophy. I'm there. We're there.
To be fair, I like this because
I love my club.
Matisse is preparing for the future.
Don't do that.
I've done it.
I can't believe the Big Six is being held up for Conference League playoffs. Not even the actual group stage. But Matisse is our brother, and we have to support him during these times, people. So
you do, yes.
His channel link
support me
is
when
in
I'm up. Support me when I'm down.
If you can please go over and subscribe and give him some love and care and look after him during these difficult times. We on the Big Six would appreciate that. Until the next time, Thursday night after Chelsea plays Serviette, we wish him the best of luck. We will be back, people. Welcome back.
Howdy,
everyone. We're at peace.